What's up, y'all? We are live. Are you guys ready to have some fun tonight? Let me know if you're in the house. Show some love by smashing the thumbs up button. Fun tonight. All right, looks like my watch page is on and popping. Good news. All right. So, Pacific Mile says, yes, sir. Peter Rizzle 16 says, yup. David Yount with the thumbs up. Andy's here. She says, hey, everyone. Jonna X says, welcome, Jake. Welcome, mods, subs, and viewers. Everyone, welcome indeed. Shay here says, hi, Jonna. Is that the actual Shay back on YouTube? Mass One says, sup, my Nillas. What up, my Nilla wafers? What's up, my Negroids? Is it racist to call a group of people Negroids? And if it is, can you explain why? Axiom Oblivion says, yo, shout me out, biatch. Oofmatic says, yo, what's up, Jake? I think that calls for one of these. What's up? What's up? We still do that from time to time. If we don't do that, no one will, and then it will die out, which would be sad. So that's why I continue to do that. All right. Yeah. What's up, my Negroids? All of you guys are my Negroids. I'm not a Negroid. Just you greasy ass mother flunkies. Just kidding. Or am I? That's how I like to get started. With a joke that some people might misconstrue as being racism. Whereas to me, it's just a funny word. Right? Okay. So I actually had a lot of requests to break down the submarine shit. And I was kind of shocked. I put out the video talking about Andrew Tate being a total shill and actor puppet on the world stage. And I had to have gotten like 10 comments or more of people saying, Jake, when are you going to break down the submarine thing, the Titanic submarine shit? When are you going to talk about that? And I was like, really? You guys care that much? You want me to tell you that it's fake? That bad? Okay, you ready? It's fake. Ta-da! All right, glad we could cover this topic. You guys ready to move on to something more important? Seriously, you guys, like, it's one of those things that I didn't spend a lot of time looking into, but I immediately knew was fake bullshit. Like, I immediately think no one died, no one was in that submarine, no one died, no one cried, except for sheeple. So there's a lot of women who watched the movie Titanic who cried during the movie, and some weak men too. And so a lot of people saw the movie Titanic and they got enveloped into this fictional story of a romance that happened on board. And when you look at that, that's just a fake fictional movie that was just made up. And then the supposed real Titanic sinking, when you look into that, that whole story could be fake as well. So there's like an insider conspiracy to the Titanic going down. Some people say it was sank on purpose and that it didn't hit an iceberg, but there were some powerful people on board and they sank it. Other people just say it's just a straight up made up story, and I happen to lean towards that side. So we'll watch some of these news, MS News reports. We'll break down what they say. But The main thing is we don't have any footage of this thing going down or imploding. And so it's all just talk. And so that was why I didn't rush to put out a video right away, was because there's nothing to actually break down besides what they're saying. And I wanted to wait and see if there was going to be a miraculous saving of the passengers. You know, the crew survives. They were down to their last 1 minute of oxygen and they were miraculously saved. I was waiting to see whether we were going to get a tragic tale of death or a miraculous saving of the crew. And so we get, of course, the tragic tale of death, which, if you look at it, the Titanic story, such a tragedy. So many people died. Oh, and if you go down and try to look at the Titanic, you could die, and people have. It's like a double extra mega tragedy burger. It's a tragedy double whopper. All right, got a first super chat of the night coming in from 1 sec, let me pull it up. David Young, longtime supporter of the program, says, let me get you started. Ask and thy shall receive. It's a Saturday night live stream with Jake G, baby. Ooh, I like the rhyme scheme there. Ask and thy shall receive. It's a Saturday night live stream with Jake G, baby. Or something, right? There you go. Good times. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Coming in with another donation straight out of Canada. We got Sunflower, says, Jake exposing the fake. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't like in a hurry to talk about this shit because it's just not interesting to me. So the only reason like I feel like compelled to do it is because I had about 10 subscribers ask me specifically to cover it. And I was like, I guess if you want me to tell you it's fake, we can watch some shit and I can show you a few obvious connections. Mainly it's the movie Titanic, and then the director is now like speaking on like why this submarine imploded and how it could have been done better. So that the director of the movie is also an expert in the field of submarines and submersibles. It's hilarious. So now like the world sits back and listens to James Cameron, a movie director who made a movie with a fictional love story. He's also the main expert going to tell you why the submersible failed and imploded. Don't you love that? How convenient. The director of the movie also is an expert and going to talk on the news about it. Of course. Javid coming in with a donation. Haven't seen Javid in a while. Or Javid. That's right. Javid. His name is Javid. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Glad you're here. Hey, Jake, do you like cigars? No, they're stinky, and I don't like tobacco. When I tried to smoke cigarettes when I was a teenager, it always just gave me a weird, gross buzz that I didn't like. And it made me like lightheaded and like it would give me even a headache. And I just didn't like the smell, the flavor, or the buzz that I got. So I just never liked tobacco. And so I had friends who were like, oh, on cigars, you don't inhale, you just puff on them. But then you're just puffing really nasty smoke. So I've never smoked a cigar that I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And it's like George Carlin said, you're sucking on a big brown dick. Some people say a cigar is just a cigar. Well, I say it's a big brown dick. So I don't like the smell of them when I'm in a casino and somebody's puffing on one. And so basically the answer is no, I'm not into it. I'm a classic flower smoker since I was a teenager. So I don't even like to wrap a blunt in a cigar paper because I think the paper's gross and it messes up the high. So I'm as snobby with my weed as to where if someone says, do you want to hit this blunt? I'll be like, no, thank you. I have my own marijuana that's not wrapped up in a nasty ass cigar paper that you slobbered on. Thank you for offering. And I say it just like that, slightly more asshole-ish even. There used to be a time when I was, a teenager in my 20s, whatever, weed was still illegal. Somebody would roll up a nasty blunt and you would be like, thanks, I guess. Ugh. People still roll up nasty ass blunts. I don't know what it is. Like they were trained that you're supposed to have a nasty ass piece of cigar paper that doesn't taste anything like weed on top of your weed, messing up everything about the weed. I don't know. Some people are trained that that's what they like. It's fucking weird to me. It just straight up is like blunts are gross. Straight up, they are. They're nasty. And anyone who disagrees, you're wrong. Okay, there you go. For a $2 donation, I sure went the hell off on that question, didn't I? I gave you information you did not even ask or want to know. Bonnie Bucks Bar with a donation says, thank you for diving into this. Thank you, Bonnie Bucks Bar. Do you actually have a bar called Bonnie Bucks Bar? Are you Bonnie Buck, the owner of Bonnie Bucks Bar, promoting your bar here? Because if you are, that's cool. I just want to know whether or not I'm talking to an actual bar. Are you a bar, dude, ma'am? I don't know if you're Bonnie or if you're Buck. It's very confusing. All right. But thank you for the donation regardless, Bonnie Buck Bar. All right. Javid says, I find cigars to be less smelly and icky than cigarettes. Is it just me? Well, not all cigars are created equal. So they have, extra expensive cigars. You go to a shop and they've got them in a cabinet. And the guy's like, oh, this one's tastes like a spicy brown dick. This one's $200 a cigar because it came from Cuba. So, of course, it's expensive and smelly and gross. And you want it because you're stupid. And you're like, here's my money. I need a cigar from Cuba. No, I'm just kidding. You probably don't do that. But yeah, I'm just not into tobacco products at all. I've totally tried lots of stuff. And that's one of those things that lots of people are addicted to. And I never got addicted to it. Thank God, of any kind. No tobacco. Thank you, Javid. I appreciate the donations in cigar-related topics, directly related to what we're talking about. Submarines. I think it imploded because there were smoking cigars in there. There you go. I have no evidence to prove that, which is about as much evidence as there is that a submarine imploded. All right. You guys ready to get started? I think we bullshitted long enough out of the gate. I'll go ahead and share some of the news reports that the passengers are indeed dead. So we went from like, oh my God, are they alive? Are they dead? I wanted to wait for the story to play out before I jumped to conclusions or whatever. So they're dead, but I don't think any of this ever happened. But let's go ahead and listen to the mainstream bullshit and get everyone on the same page here.
This morning, a Navy official confirms to ABC News that an underwater acoustic system heard what was likely that missing sub carrying 5 people imploding on Sunday, not long after the vessel began its voyage to the wreckage of the Titanic. The Navy says it passed the information on to the Coast Guard, but the search continued to make every effort to save the lives on board.
This is an incredibly unforgiving environment down there on the seafloor. And the debris is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel.
The implosion was detected near the site where 5 pieces of the sub were found yesterday on the ocean floor.
Okay, so you get a news report that they found debris. And again, these are like things that none of us can go like verify for ourselves. Like how many people have the equipment to go dive down and do their own investigation? And then out of the amount of people who have the equipment, how many are going to do their own investigation independently and be like, I'm going to go dive down there and see if these people are lying or what's going on? See, they know nobody can go dive down there and be like, oh, there is debris. I totally went down there. I found some of the debris personally. So all this is just like shit that the news tell you, and you have to rely 100% on whatever they say or whatever supposed expert that they wheel out. And so whenever you can't verify anything and everyone's talking about it, like this made like national news on every network. and there's a lot of people who saw the movie Titanic, a lot of women. Their heartstrings were tugged on by the movie, and so then they hear this and their heartstrings get tugged on again. I think there's a shitload of like baby boomers and women who watched the movie Titanic that when they hear a report like this Titanic song comes on, and my heartstrings get tugged on and on. Their heartstrings get tugged on. The Titanic song in the background's playing, and they're like, oh, that movie was so sad. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that. And so they tie it back to that sad feeling when they were watching the movie Titanic. And that's tied back to the sad feeling that the Titanic went down and all those people actually died. And then these people who went down to check out the Titanic also died. Oh, wow. What a triple whopper of a tragedy we have here. See? See why they do these callbacks to movies and shit? Was like Titanic was a huge, huge box office smash at the time when it came out. It was one of those movies that like every woman drug her husband to see. Every girl wanted to see that movie, and a bunch of weak ass dudes too. And then you get to the scene where the boat's cracking in half and it's going down, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh!" And then the couple have their last moment, and Jack dies, and all the women in the house and the weak men all cry and lose their shit. They're using that moment, that fictional moment, to tug on the heartstrings of all the people who were emotionally affected by the fictional tale of Jack and whoever the other bitch was, whatever her name was. So, make no mistake about it, the movie, directed by a guy who also does submarine missions to the Titanic, and he's an expert going to tell you on why this one went wrong. It's such a made-for-TV story that I actually truly think James Cameron directed the whole thing. Like I feel like I'll get to that in a bit. I feel like this is like Titanic Part 2 in a way. Made for TV Titanic Part 2, the sequel. All right, let's continue.
feet from the Titanic. Experts say a fault or failure in the hull of the sub could have led to the implosion as the vessel gave way to the intense pressure of the deep sea. The 5 passengers are presumed dead, including Stockton Rush, the CEO of the sub's company, Oceangate. Rush often spoke about his sub defying industry standards.
I'd like to be remembered as an innovator. I think it was General MacArthur said, "You're remembered for the rules you break." And, I've broken some rules to make this.
Now Oceangate's safety record is coming under scrutiny. Explorer Josh Gates declined a trip on the sub 2 years ago after several of its systems failed during a test dive, concerned about the sub's carbon fiber makeup.
Carbon fiber is a miraculous material. It's what we're using to build next generation airplanes out of, the Dreamliner, the A350, things like that. But it's not particularly well understood how it works over time in terms of fatigue at depths and in extreme cold.
A former Oceangate employee echoed those concerns in a 2018 court filing, saying he warned the company that flaws in the carbon would grow with each dive under such intense pressure.
All right, so coincidentally, there just so happens to be a whistleblower who has already blown the whistle about these certain submersibles and the material they're made out of, how there's flaws in the carbon and it could grow with each dive. So there was a dude out there who knew that this was going to happen, and he tried to warn everyone. Don't you love when they have a government approved whistleblower there, to tell you the inside scoop? Whenever they use the term like whistleblower, or there was a insider, former employee, it's like it's always part of their planted story. So I don't buy there being a guy who blew the whistle and warned them back in 2018. What this does is it gives the sheeple watching permission to be mad at the guys at Oceangate for not doing it correctly. And that gives them some shit to say at work around the water cooler. There are flaws in the carbon, and every time they die, the carbon gets. I mean, don't you know that? I mean, I'm smart, so I know all about carbon. And like the carbon fibers on those submarines get weaker like every time. Like, duh, don't you know? And like they totally ignored that. Like, see, they give you this like info so that like you're an idiot sheeple at home watching, and they tell you there was a guy who warned them, so they should have known better. So now you get to feel a certain way about it going down. So they tug on your heartstrings, like, oh, these people went down. These 4 or 5 people who you don't know died, and it's tied back to the Titanic. Oh, be so sad. And then it's like, oh, there was a guy who tried to warn everyone and say that this was going to happen, but no one listened to him. Only we to listen to that guy. And James Cameron, of course, goes on to basically do the same thing and say, oh, well, if Data did it my way, then everyone wouldn't have died. Yes, hindsight is always 20/20, especially when the whole story is fake, right?
The dispute was settled out of court. James Cameron, director of the Oscar-winning film Titanic, called the incident a preventable tragedy.
I'm struck by the fact that somehow, individuals, companies have managed to miss the lesson of Titanic itself. What was Titanic saying to us over all these years, whether it's in my films or the many documentaries and so on, which is heed the warnings. Don't be arrogant. Don't think you're smarter than nature. And those were the warnings of Titanic. Now we have 2 wreck sites adjacent to each other that both represent, in my mind, recklessness.
Meanwhile,
So here we get the director of Titanic and a bunch of other movies. And he's also not just a movie director, but again, he's also an ocean explorer, and he's explored around the Titanic how many times? Guess how many times this guy has done submarine dives down to the Titanic? Somebody in the chat right now, just guess how many times. How many times has he went down and checked out the Titanic? Right? Man, you guys are smart. How did you guys know that? I got a bunch of smart people here. Oh, you smarty smarts. Yeah. How about that? It just happens to be the first thing like up there. Like Titanic has Cameron has completed 33 submersible dives to the Titanic wreck. So see, he knows. He's been there 33 times. He's an expert, and he directed the movie. So there you go. There's your Masonic coding. Now, for some people, that's just a coincidental number. So just putting it out there. There's the 33 coding. So what else do we got on this guy? Let me show you. Just a straight up Google search. So we got Avatar, Titanic, the Terminator movies, among many others. But the Terminator movies, killer robots taking out humans, killer AI, right? Gee, oh, and the Titanic and the Avatar movies. Like, these are huge movies that condition the public. The Terminator movies, it's killer AI. And what have we been hearing about? The dangers of AI, the dangers of artificial intelligence turning on humans. And of course, this guy has already put out the dominant movie series about humans versus robots and AI turning on the humans. This is like the main movie series, right? The most iconic, well-known movie series, The Terminator. So even if we put the Titanic stuff aside and we just look at some of his other work and how it ties into conditioning the public for a future AI attack. So I personally think that this story is like Titanic Part 2 directed by James Cameron. And then a future AI attack with robots, Terminator style AI attack, robots turning on humans, that could also be written by James Cameron. So they can have a story of a robot being reprogrammed to attack humans somehow or another, AI going berserk, and they could put this guy in charge of the story to create a made-for-TV mini movie, just like I believe they just made with this Submarine story, a made-for-TV mini movie, a drawback to the main movie. Now, I can't like prove this or anything in any sort of like concrete way to you. This is just my thoughts. So I look at like, okay, the Masonic coding's there. He's a director of mainstream movies, huge movies that like everyone has seen. He's not like some little dipshit independent director. He's like, you know, these are movies that we've all seen. Probably, you know, some of these even I don't watch many movies anymore, but when I was a kid, I probably watched Terminator 2 30, 40 times or so. I probably saw Terminator 1 at least 10 or 20. So, and my mom at the time wanted to go see Titanic, and everybody, when Titanic came out, I remember all the girls singing that damn song, and that damn song just being on the radio everywhere all the time. So, when they have that much mainstream appeal to the public, and then they use this story, they're going to use that same mainstream appeal to tug on the heartstrings with this fake story that they want you to believe is actually real. All right. So I do think James Cameron actually produced this whole thing. So here's another thing I wanted to show. They have a fake expert who's getting an ungodly amount of views, like not even 24 hours, and he's got almost 2 million views. So here's your fake expert. Check this out. 10 hours ago, 1.6 million views. That's huge. That means in 24 hours, that's going to be over 2 million views. So by next week, maybe 3-4 million, who knows? But if right out of the gate, you're getting that sort of views, somebody named 2-Bit Da Vinci, this reminds me directly of when Damar Hamlin went down, and we had experts within minutes of him going down explaining what commotio cordaitis is and why Damar Hamlin collapsed during the football game. So now we have these fake engineer experts who will come on and explain exactly why the submersible failed. So this guy here, he's going to be your resident YouTube expert, going to tell you exactly why the submersible failed and how they should have did it better. So this guy knows all about the submersible, how it was made, what they did wrong, and how they could do it better. And he's picking up, look at those views. They don't just give you that many views on a long format video covering a mainstream subject like that, unless you're part of the plan. So just like they had the fake doctors come out and be like, Damar Hamlin collapsed because of commotio cordaitis. I am an expert on commotio cordaitis because I'm a doctor on YouTube. So this guy's coming out like, I am an expert on engineering and I know all about submersibles. And let me tell you exactly why this failed and how they could have prevented it. And then everybody in the comments is like, oh, totally. The carbon fiber gets weak on every dive. Everyone knows that. So everyone in the comment section is also going to act like an expert on submersibles. It's ridiculous. All right, here we go.
This is probably the most infuriating for me as an engineer. David Lockridge, the Oceangate Director of Marine Operations, filed a quality control report in January 2018, stating that no non-destructive testing, or NDI, of the carbon fiber hull had taken place to check for voids or delaminations in the carbon fiber layup that could compromise the hull strength. NDI, non-destructive investigation, NDT, non-destructive testing, is a way of checking something to make sure that it's safe without actually breaking it apart. Because really the best way to check if something is safe is to cut it in half, break it, and go, yep, it's safe. But of course, you've destroyed the product. So NDT is something that engineers lean on all the time to make sure things are safe. And in the world of carbon fiber, it's that much more difficult because carbon fiber doesn't bend or yield or get grooves and cracks the way other materials do.
You see the way he's like making the case that like he knows all about this stuff, and like they were using this carbon fiber stuff and they just forgot to realize that if you make a submarine out of this stuff that it could implode, because this guy's an expert going to tell you all about it. So whenever they have one of these dudes rolled out for you, like, hi, I'm an expert, I'm smart, I'm an engineer, I have all the knowledge of submersibles and shit, and so I of course am going to get 2 million views like within 24 hours. No way, man. That's how you know this guy's part of the plan. This guy's part of the programming for the sheeple. No different than those fake doctors that were rolled out to tell you Damar Hamlin went down with commotio-chorditis within an hour of him going down.
It requires a lot of information and insight. Lockridge was told that Oceangate would rely on the real-time acoustic monitoring system, which he felt would not warn the crew of potential failure with sufficient time to safely abort the mission and evacuate. The day after he filed his report, he was summoned to a meeting in which he was told the acrylic window that you look out of was only rated for 1,300 meters because Oceangate would not fund the design of a window rated for 4,000 meters. In that
So the whistleblower dude tried to warn him that the window was only rated for 13 meters and it needs to be rated for more than that. And they tried to warn him, but they didn't listen. So this guy's going with that whistleblower story of the dude who tried to warn him here. And then he's going to agree with the dude who tried to warn him. There's a guy who tried to warn him, and he told him that it was going to not work and it could fail. And I totally agree with that guy. I mean, of course, carbon fibers, it gets weak with each dive. Common knowledge, just like Damar Hamlin had commotio-chorditis take him down on the football field. Common knowledge, everyone knows that. Anyone who goes to school and is smart like this engineer guy knows. You can tell this dude's reading a script, by the way. You can tell by the cadence. It's like they just wheel this dude out, be like, here, we're going to put this on the teleprompter and you're going to read it. You're going to be the pretend genius on the subject for YouTubers. So anyone who looks it up, you're going to be the guy who shows up in their search result first.
That meeting, he reiterated his concerns and added that he would refuse to allow crew testing without a hull scan. Lockridge was dismissed from his position as a result.
Oceangate, Watergate, Pizza, Gate, Bill Gates. I don't know. So there's something with the gate name here, like that's also like a kind of a trigger word thing here. Like the company just happens to be called Oceangate, and there just happens to be other conspiracies, you know, that were super popular with the word gate. Yeah. So just another little thing there. So again, they're going with this idea that this dude, whistleblower guy, warned them, and then he was dismissed. And then they went ahead and did their thing anyway without listening to him. And this whole thing could have been prevented. Gosh darn it. If only they'd have listened to this whistleblower dude, or James Cameron, or 2-Bit Da Vinci. This all could have been avoided.
Oceangate filed a lawsuit against Lockridge that June, accusing him of improperly sharing proprietary trade secrets and fraudulently manufacturing a reason to get rid of him. This suit was settled in November 2018. I'm sure.
Want a worry-free way to kill bugs? Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Taco Bell breakfast. Fluffy eggs, sausage, and a crispy hash brown. It's how everyone should wake up.
It was all sealed off and we'll never know exactly what was agreed upon, but that is absolutely terrifying. During a human piloted descent on December 10th, 2018, Stockton Rush used the vertical thrusters to overcome unexpected positive buoyancy when descending past 10,000 feet. These submersibles are like a balloon with air inside, right? So it's hard for them to dive. And so they have different ways and ballast systems to be able to accomplish that. But for whatever reason, around 10,000 feet, he had to use vertical thrusters to continue his descent. And when this happened, it caused interference with the communication systems.
So this guy's an expert, and he knows that when they use these thrusters, it caused interference in the communication system. He was there inside the communication system, seeing it being disrupted. He witnessed the disruption, right? Right? So somehow this guy he knows so much about it. He knows about the disturbances and interferences in this particular system and what caused them. Because he was there. Oh, wait, he wasn't there. Oh, so he just knows this from sitting on his couch. Yeah. So we're to believe 2-Bit Da Vinci sits on his couch, knows what happened because he's so smart, wrote his own script and read his own script and made a video that's going to get 2 million views in a day. Sure, dude. Because he's such a cool, awesome YouTuber and he's so smart. He wrote his own script and included all this shit that he knows about. I don't understand how anyone falls for any of these stupid fucking channels, man. Like, oh, he's so smart. He knows all about it. He knows that there is a disturbance in the communication system. That's why he wrote a script for himself and made a video about it, because he wants us to know. He wants us to be as smart as he is. I'm glad there's people out there like 2-Bit Da Vinci helping millions to be as smart as he is and know exactly why this thing imploded. So they give you this fake genius shit or fake expert shit so that the sheeple just repeat that. Like they want to be knowledgeable. So somebody who watches this story will be like, oh, well, it's because they use carbon fibers. They totally should not have done that. They should have just let experts like James Cameron do it instead. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't listen to the whistleblower guy. He came out and told them not to do it, and they did it anyway. This whole thing could have been prevented. It's such a tragedy. It's a preventable tragedy. So what they also do is scare anyone from thinking you're going to go down there and check out the Titanic. So now it like has extra lure that like you could die if you try to go look at the Titanic. The people died on the Titanic, and if you try to go down and look at it, you could die too. And so they put you in this position if you're a sheeple to where you imagine yourself inside a little tiny submarine tube, sinking lower and lower, and then all the instruments turn off and the window cracks and water comes in and you die. They want you to like play that in your head. They want you to sit inside the tube in your mind, see the window cracking, and feel the intense fear in your body of what it would be like to live in that moment. Right? And there's a lot of people sitting at home who've been conditioned through all the movies, television they've seen to envision just that and be like, oh, God, how frightening and terrible that must have been. What a tragedy.
Between spinning propellers, the disturbance in the wake of the water coming off those propellers and everything else, they lost contact for 1 hour. Now, Rush was thrilled to call himself the second person to solo dive to 13,000 feet after James Cameron. But if that was me, I would be terrified. I would come back and figure out what on earth happened with the comms and what can we do? Can we change the frequency? Can we have a backup system? Can we have a tether? Whatever has to happen to never let that happen again. And we know it happened again because of that report from the reporter. After these tests were completed in January 2020, the hull of the Titan began showing signs of cyclical fatigue, and the craft was derated to 3,000 meters. Now, the hull was repaired and again rated again for 4,000 meters of diving depth. But
And of course, this guy's an engineer. He's an expert. He did his own independent tests. He went there and tested the damn thing himself. Oh, wait. He's a YouTuber who's reading a script. Right? Just ask yourself whenever you listen to one of these guys giving you all this information, like, where the hell did you get that information? Did you copy and paste it yourself into a script that you're now reading for yourself, sir? How the hell do you know what depth it was rated to? And like, did you check any of it, Mr. Expert, who knows so much about engineering? Did you check a damn thing? Nope. But they just want you to blindly believe any expert who they wheel out who says anything. And they want you to parrot that same information. I don't do that. I'm one of those guys that's like, yeah, but how do I know that? Very simple question. How do I know that that's not bullshit? Seems to me it could be bullshit. And being as I've proven that the government has been full of shit on many, 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 many stories before, I'm just going to walk into this one and assume they're full of shit again, even if I can't personally go down and verify any of their information. I also know that this guy can't go verify any of the information either. So there you go. There's your fake expert getting millions of views on a video where he's clearly reading a teleprompter about shit that he does not know or has ever tested. But he's an engineer. All right. So what do you guys think? Now that I've pretty much wrapped up the Oceangate thing, in my opinion, nobody was on the submersible. Nobody died. And anyone who believes it and cries is just falling for a fake story. Straight up. So I don't think that anyone actually really died. And all this whistleblower shit that it was preventable and there was some guy trying to warn them, I think that's all this garbage too. Got a super chat coming in from Doxological Thinker. Says, I wonder when Neil deGrasse Tyson will have an expert opinion on it. Well, no, he's more space related. So since he's an astrophysicist, they're going to wheel him out more for space related propaganda rather than for this. It's just not his area of fake expertise. See? So for this one, they have Titanic director publicly speaking and the world listening like, oh yeah, well, he directed Titanic, so, and he went there 33 times, so this guy's the one who should have been doing all the dives down there. He should be in control of every dive down there. No one else should do it. No one else is smart enough. Should have did it James Cameron's way. Thank you for the donation, Doxological Thinker. W. Folk says a Hunter Biden distraction. Yeah, whenever someone says this is a distraction from this or that's a distraction from that, all the fake stories are distractions. And so when you're talking about Hunter Biden, like that's also a fake story in my opinion as well. So it's like if Joe Biden is not even really Joe Biden and is being played by a team of actors, how the hell are you going to buy into a story about his son's laptop that comes from the news? So, like I've told people, don't fall for the news giving you stories about bad guys and then run with the same shit about the bad guys that the news is saying. Hunter Biden and his laptop. Ooh. It's like, yeah, but that's on the news. And if his dad is not even really a guy, then what stops his son from being an actor and puppet? You see what I'm saying? So I don't look at this being a distraction from that. It's like it's all fake news, and they're running nonstop fake news around the clock. So check this out. We had, in just like a 2-week stretch, we had Trump is indicted on all these charges. Oh my God. Andrew Tate is indicted on rape and human trafficking at the same time as Trump. Oh my God. Aliens landed in the backyard of Las Vegas. Aliens are real. It's being admitted. They are here. We're not alone. Oh, there's a submarine lost. People might die. And that's like within just 2 weeks. Right? So they've got huge, gigantic psychological operations that are all completely fake, running concurrently all the time. To where it's like, for me, tiring to pick which one I even want to talk about. Like this one I wasn't even interested in a fake submarine story because it's boring to me. A fake submarine story. Who cares? Even if it was real and 5 people died in a submarine, who cares? Right? More than 5 people died of other reasons. Are we to be sad about that? No. But since 5 people died in a submarine, I'm supposed to be affected. Like I said, even if it was real, I don't care. Who gives a shit? And I don't think it's real. So there's less of a reason to give a shit. The only reason I'm even talking about it is because my audience asked me to tell you how fake it was. You guys asked me, enough of you did, asked me to tell you how fake and stupid it is. So this is just me doing that. I hope you enjoyed that. For me, it's just another day at the office. Just some more fake shit on the fake ass world stage, yo. All right, JL says next gate, virus gate. Yeah, we are probably due, and I hate to say it and manifest it into the world, but it looks like it's a coming, whether I say something or not. The next pandemic, I'm not looking forward to it because you know damn well they're going to want to lock us down again. They're going to want to make everyone wear muzzles and come get a new concoction and a new booster. And so you know that that's a coming, and it's going to suck. But when it does come, that means I'm going to be on here full time talking about it as much as I can without getting my ass kicked off. So there'll be that. You know, whenever they run these gigantic operations, I will be there talking about it because that's about all I can do to keep myself sane while it all goes down, is vent about it and have an audience here who understands and appreciates what I'm talking about. And thank you, JL. I appreciate the donation, and I do agree with you. And the next probably 4 to 5 years, somewhere in that range, they got to pull off another one. I don't think they're going to wait too long for us to forget the whole process of muzzling up. It's like they trained us. You have to muzzle up. You have to be 6 feet. You have to stay indoors. You have to have restaurants move their shit outside. You have to do all this weird shit. So they trained us with all that stupid shit. And so I don't think they want to wait too long for us to forget what they trained us for. So I think that they have to wheel out another pandemic within the next few years. Minimum, like, if they don't do it in the next 5 years, then maybe they won't. But I would figure, since they just trained us up on that whole procedure, that they don't want to wait too long. Yes, sunflower, they do exist. The more you'll see them more in liberal big cities. So the bigger the city, the more liberal the population, the more you're going to see that for sure. The same places that, promote big, gigantic pride parades are the same places where you're going to see people still wearing a muzzle whenever they pick and choose. Like I saw a couple like walk into like this 20, it was a 24-hour taqueria place that I went to, and it was late at night, and it was like Roberto's or some shit, and it's like a small chain. Anyway, so this couple came in, and they looked like a gay couple, and it wasn't dudes, it was like two really butch looking women, and they both had on muzzles, but they took it off and ate their food, and then like sat there and chit chatted and whatever, and then as they threw away their garbage, they put it on as they walked out to their car, and then they got out into their car together, and then they took them back on their car, and I was sitting there scratching my head like, okay, so like they're afraid of the boogeyman disease, but not while they're eating and not while they're in the car together. And they're not afraid of catching it from each other. But when they walk in and out of the taqueria, they want to be covered up and they're protecting themselves or others. To me, it's like if you're that scared, it's kind of like you have to have it on all the time. I should never see your face if you're that scared. You should be trying to like slip food underneath your mask if you're that scared. You know what I mean? Like it, not even take it off while you eat. Just like I'm gonna put some food underneath here. Num, 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 num. Num, 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 right? That would make more sense if you were truly afraid, right? But it's like the people who wear it, they do it to like virtue signal at the grocery store or whatever. But then when they get home, they take it off when they're around their friends or family or whoever that they deem probably not sick. They'll take it off. So it's interesting how people pick and choose when they think they're going to protect themselves and when not. Jennifer Reeves says 2020 killed my S life. Your sex life? Well, if you're a woman, you shouldn't have much trouble. Getting sex for a woman is pretty easy. It's much harder if you're a dude and you're anti-vax and you speak publicly about conspiracies. It's kind of hard. Then you're kind of stuck with just the women who pay attention to your channel and your message. Because all the normies who live around me who are liberal don't want anything to do with a guy who's anti-vax and has a strong opinion about anything. So if you're a woman and you say that 2020 killed your sex life, well, I think you're lying. I'm pretty sure you can get on an app right now on Tinder or whatever, and even if you're 300 pounds and ugly, there will be dudes who will line up to fuck you. They will line up. You could line up 20 of them. I know it for a fact. So any woman who says she can't get laid is just not whoring herself out correctly. There's dudes right here in this chat who will come bone you right now if they live close enough. There's dudes who will drive out of state to come bone you right now. Sight unseen. You have no excuses. I probably scared the poor lady away. Or not. She might be like, really? Okay. But yeah, the world hasn't quite been the same since then. We've technically went back to normal, but there's still people walking around with muzzles. There's still people acting stupid. And you know it's going to come back and get worse again like it was eventually. So not fun to look forward to that, but at least right now we can still go out and watch a concert. See, I am a musician and I enjoy going out and watching a concert. And in those moments, I like being around the crowds and everyone feeling the music together and enjoying it. And for me, the saddest part of 2020 was taking away something as simple as music that you never thought could be taken away. It took away my ability to perform live, and it took away my favorite band's ability to perform live. And it was kind of a scary deal to think like, when will I ever get to see a concert? Is it over? Will I never get to see like a live show ever again? Like having that thought was scary. So the fact that we're back to somewhat normal to where I can go watch my favorite band and I've got shows lined up on the calendar, that's nice. Because having that taken away is truly to me like that's when I really feel like I'm stuck in a jail cell. Like, oh, you can't go book a show. All the shows you had booked are gone. And your favorite band that you like to go watch, they can't book a show either. So sit home and watch TV and YouTube. That's all you got. So I did get an influx of viewership during that time because I was putting out, empty hospital content and calling out the fake pandemic. And I was one of the few channels, not one of the few, there's plenty of channels doing it, but I was calling out the empty hospitals, picking up some steam. So I definitely got a bump in viewership, but you would expect that when everybody's forced to sit at home. Andy, everyone's horny. Yep. Yeah, all the women have been trained to go after the guy who's rich and successful like Andrew Tate, and then all the guys are trained by Andrew Tate to reject all the slutty whore women and go after 16-year-old virgins. And so you have a culture of men who are like, that bitch is for the streets. I'm not getting married. None of these chicks are worth anything or worth the relationship unless they're a teenage virgin. They have this whole male red pill culture. And then they have the female culture on the other side is like, I don't need a man. I'll take off my clothes on OnlyFans and have men pay my salary because of wanting to see me naked. So you have any girl who looks good with the ability to make tons of money on OnlyFans. Meanwhile, there's an entire culture of men like those are 304 hoe bags. Those women are for the streets. So out of those two cultures, how are you supposed to create a tight-knit, loving family? Right? And that's the way it's designed. They want the men out there rejecting marriage, rejecting the women, and they want the women to be on TikTok and OnlyFans being hoe bags. That's the way they designed it. And so it's a really shitty thing to have been alive long enough to know what dating was like before it became what it is today. But what it is now is an absolute dumpster fire. So being single in today's world, especially if you're a dude, is really tough. More so if you're a dude, because women have this inflated thing where they think the older they get, the more they deserve. Not all women, but I'm noticing the ones who are in their late 30s and 40s, my age, who have a failed marriage or two and multiple children, still think they deserve 6 foot tall man who makes over 100,000 and has all the boxes checked perfectly. Otherwise, they don't deserve the prize of a woman with 3 kids from 2 other dudes and 2 failed marriages and 50 extra pounds. You don't deserve that prize, sir. unless you check all the boxes. So I know what it's like to have women you view way beneath you not even want to give you the time of day. To where it's like, I can't even reject these bitches because they don't even want me. That's a good line right there. Totally just made that up. David Yount said, notice there was a lot of Disney fake space rocket launches last few weeks. Oh, that's always something they're doing. They got to keep a big fake dildo going into the sky every so often to keep people thinking that rockets are going places and doing things. Elon Musk is installing the Starlink system because I saw a rocket. You know, they want you to think they're out there doing stuff. And so as long as they keep shoving helium-filled tubes into the air, and splashing them down out in the ocean, people are thinking that they're out there doing space stuff. Mike Vita said, 40-year-old fatties are all over my broke ass. Well, lucky you, sir. There's men out there who would trade places with you in a second. In fact, you want to trade places, buddy? I'll come be Mike Vita and have all the 40-year-old fatties, and you can come wear a funny hat and tell people how fake everything is. Sound like a deal? If only it was that easy. Kelly Christine wants everyone to know she's not fat. Well, Kelly Christine, I'm pretty sure Mr. Right is right here in chat or on screen right now. Now we're just being silly, or I am. But hey guys, anyone interested? Kelly Christine's not fat. What? Titty in the butt. Andy thinks that this stream is funny. Well, that's the whole point. To have some fun here. We like to have fun here. Oh, that reminds me. That totally reminds me of something funny that I wanted to show you guys. In fact, this is even more funny than that stupid Titanic story, which is not very funny, I might add. All right, you guys. So I was told that someone made a video about me. And then when I went and this isn't the first time someone's made a video about me. I've had literally hundreds of videos made about me. And so whenever somebody makes a video about me, I like to watch it just to see what they say. And people like to make shit up about me because I'm a good dude who tells the truth. And there's people out there who don't like that. They're either jealous or it's their job to be one of my haters, what have you. And they have to like make shit up about me in order to try and get people to not like me. So there's two tactics. They can cut up my statements, cut up my clips, take them out of context, and try and make me look bad by taking things that I've said and cutting it up a certain way. Or there's option B, just make some shit up. And this is more option B, someone just choosing to make some shit up about me. And what they chose to make up, I found it to be highly entertaining. So much so that you guys are now going to get to see this guy expose the shit out of me. So this is Aaron Haywood. He's got multiple channels, and all of them are small. And he made a video exposing me. We're going to watch it together. He exposed me so bad that I'm going to expose myself to you. Okay, so he got me so good that now you guys I'm going to show it to you guys. So I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to keep any of this information hidden. I don't want anyone thinking that like I'm trying to hide this information that is being exposed about me. So I'm going to go ahead and play this guy's video about me and let you guys see what he has to say. So the title is Jake the Asshole is JH, is Chad, is Negan, is Marbus. So this guy thinks that I'm playing multiple roles. And that's all I want to say. I don't want to give away the whole thing. You guys ready? Strap in. This is going to be a fun video. I'm about to get exposed. All right. Aaron Haywood exposing Jake the Asshole. And away we go.
I had a new subscriber a few months ago recommend this channel / character pictured on screen, who goes by the name of Jake the Arsehole. Now, when I came over to have a look at this channel, the first thing I noticed is this hat here. Because this hat is symbolic of the Nephilim.
My hat is symbolic of the Nephilim. So he had a subscriber mention my name, which makes sense. You know, in the world of conspiracies and truth, I'm one of the best channels you could possibly watch or listen to, because I tell you the truth to the best of my ability. And I don't make shit up just to get views. But there are channels out there who do stoop to that level. And so one of the first things that this guy noticed is like my hat. So I've noticed by dealing with this sort of thing many times in the past is if somebody has nothing on me, the first thing they go for is my hat. He wears a hat. It's a symbol of the Nephilim. No, it isn't. You want to know the story behind the hat? I've been wearing it since before I was on YouTube doing this. I've been wearing this hat and many other funny hats when I was in bands and playing instruments like the bass guitar. That's the only instrument I play, I should say. So I was singing and playing bass at open mics while wearing funny hats. Not just this one, but I have multiple funny hats. I had a big beer mug hat, and I had a big fuzzy furry purple hat, and I had one that was like a big like funny Viking hat. So I've had a bunch of different types of funny hats. And then like St. Patrick's Day, I would wear like a green St. Patrick's Day style hat, you know. So funny hats was my musical gimmick and has been for a long time. And so I don't want to do it right now, but after this video, I'll show you guys. So when he's talking about my hat, what he doesn't realize is before I was Jake the Asshole, I was specifically wearing funny hats while I performed music, specifically as a gimmick to set me apart. That's it. I played funky, psychedelic music, solo and with a band. And so I thought a funky, psychedelic hat fit the music. So it's a musical gimmick, started many, many years ago, long before I ever did a YouTube video about anything. And I have proof. I can show you videos from over a decade ago, me wearing funny hats, not just this one. So anyone who tries to tie the hat to anything bad about me, they're just making it up. Because the real story is I was a funky psychedelic musician, still am, and I wore the hat as a gimmick. And then here on live streams, I wear it. So I don't wear it in public. I don't go out around town wearing the hat. I only wear it now for live streams. So anyone who's like, oh, it's a Jester's hat, or it's Masonic, or it's a symbol of the Nephilim, they're just making shit up about my hat to make me out to be a bad guy because they have nothing. So that's the first thing he noticed is my hat. What's the second thing that this guy noticed?
So I thought to myself, well, this is another multi-roller. Most likely an Archon of some sort, playing multiple roles. So I sat down for a minute and I thought, now, who is he? Most likely an Archon. So I thought to myself, well, this is another multi-roller. Most likely an Archon of some sort, playing multiple roles. So
I am an Archon playing multiple roles. What was the first thing he said? A muddy roller? I'm a muddy roller and an Archon playing multiple roles. Oh, see, here's the thing. I don't know what the fuck either of those things are. So when someone tells me I'm an Archon, now I gotta go look up Archon on Google or whatever, because I don't know what the fuck it is. So calling me one, probably not gonna work out too well when I don't even know what that is. And this whole multiple role business, that's when I know it's gonna be hilarious. Because I know anyone he says that I'm playing the role of such and such isn't gonna be me. So then comes him saying who he thinks I am, which is extra hilarious. Because guess what? The people he thinks I am, I don't know who the fuck those people are. And so I have to go look up these people who he thinks I am. Maybe you guys will know these people he thinks I am. But spoiler alert, I don't look like these people that he thinks I am. And I'm not these people. But I don't want to spoil the whole thing. But yes, this is a guy who made a video and wants people to believe this.
sat down for a minute and I thought, now, who is he? And it didn't take me long to figure it out. Because Jake, the arsehole, is the actor John Hamm from Mad Men.
I'm John Hamm. You got me. This guy busted me. You guys, that's my secret. I'm John Hamm from Mad Men. It didn't take him long to figure out because he's so smart. Aaron Haywood is so damn smart. It didn't take him long to figure out that I'm John Hamm. You guys didn't figure it out because you're stupid. Aaron Haywood is a genius. You see, he went to this website. Look at that website. Doesn't that look legit as shit? Look at what it says. Similarity meter, 62. Of course, anybody with a similarity meter of 62 or above is that person. Right? This website, of course, is never wrong. There's no way you could put two pictures up there and have it say that they're similar and have them not be similar. I mean, look at the proof. 62 similarity between me and John Hamm. I'm John Hamm, you guys. It's me. And you know what? I would deny it, but he got me. There's no reason for me to deny it any longer because Aaron Haywood called me out. He's proven it with this website. So therefore, I am John Hamm. But wait, that's not all. I'm more people than that. I'm lots of people. Not just him. Now, I wonder if you put a picture of young Robert De Niro in there, if it would say something like that it's more similar. So whatever this website is, I don't even know, but I think if I could probably figure it out. I think it would be hilarious to put other pictures in there of like celebrities who I kind of look like and get an even more similar meter. So I'm pretty sure if you put a picture of young Robert De Niro in there, it would be more similar than that even, right? Because that's what people say, is that I look like a young Robert De Niro. So this is the first time I've ever been told that I'm John Hamm. Well, he's the first one who ever figured it out. But I would be interested in seeing what the website would say, that if I was to stick different pictures in there, like what it would say. Bro, quit trying to act like it's not me. I'm John Hamm. He caught me. Don't try to sit here and act like I'm not John Hamm. I'm him. He's me. 62% similarity. Someone made a video saying this about me. Imagine someone making a video about you, claiming that you're other people and that you're a shape-shifting archon. And you know what? There's tiny little channels like this all over the internet, on BitChute, Odyssey, YouTube, and they'll call themselves truthers. And they'll make content like this about not just me, but about anyone. And they even have people in the comments section like, yeah, I always knew that guy was a shape-shifting Necron Nephilim. It's totally John Hamm. So I don't like being in the same truth community with these little itty-bitty channels that will do and say anything to get views, such as bring Jake the Asshole's name into their mouth and call me an Archon and call me John Hamm. I've had a lot of people make up a lot of shit about me, but this is extra ridiculous. This is some of the most retardacious that I have, retardacious, and I just made up that word, claims that have ever been made in my direction. And that's not all. We have more. Oh, wait, there's more.
Now, I was looking at this photo here. And this is what gives him up. He's got that famous look that the John Hamm character portrays in Mad Men. It should be easy to see now that it's pointed out. Now, obviously,
so that's me from about 3 weeks ago in Minnesota with the Ghostbusters crew who were doing some promotion connected back to McDonald's or whatever. So I was in Minnesota. So let me just set the scene for you, because this guy knows so much. But, you know, being that's me, this person on screen is me. That was me in Duluth, Minnesota. And I met this group doing their promotional thing using the Ghostbusters name. And I put them in a video just to try and make a fun video while I was in Duluth. So that was like the last video I made out on the road, was in Duluth with that clip, if you want to know where that clip came from. And he's saying that it's obvious that I'm John Hamm, this guy right here. That's me. I'm that guy. And it should be obvious now that it's been pointed out. That's me. A guy took time to make this video. And he wasn't doing it like as a joke just to get my attention. Because I commented. I'll even show you guys like the comment section. I commented, I'm like, you can't be this dumb. I'm going to make you look stupid if you leave this up. Like, are you doing this? I even asked, are you doing this just to get my attention? Because if you believe this, then you're delusional and you literally need help. Like, if you actually believe I'm that person and I'm an Archon and I'm playing multiple, like, you're delusional. You made it up. And if you made it up and believe what you made up with zero evidence other than this, I was trying to tell him, like, dude, I'm going to play this for my audience and we're going to make fun of you. Are you sure you want me to do that? And he's like, do your worst. So I guess this is like Tasmania's #1 truther or whatever. And he's got this little audience who I guess believes shit like this. Here, I'll even show you. So he doesn't get a bunch of views. He's only got 350 subs. Only 339 people have watched this, if that. And he says, shape-shifting archons capable of taking human-like form, playing many roles over the centuries. So that's the thing, guys. He doesn't think I'm wearing a mask. He doesn't think I have contact lenses and a CIA mask. He thinks I actually magically shapeshift into these other characters. He actually thinks that. Because I even asked him, here I am right here, see? I'm going to make you look really stupid. You may want to take this down to avoid severe embarrassment. And then I thought, maybe he's just screwing with me and wants my attention. And he tells me, do your worst. And I said, my worst? Dude, I will just play the video and make fun of how dumb you are. This is literally the dumbest thing anyone has ever claimed about me. Congrats. I'm guessing you just make up these absurd claims for attention, but this sort of attention destroys all your credibility, if you ever had any, and makes you and your channel look like a total joke and shill show. You cannot honestly believe that I am those other guys you showed. If you actually believe any of what you made up, then you need some serious help. Thanks for the comedy gold regardless. And he says, I stand by what I've stated in this video 100%. So I asked him, okay, you think I wear a mask when I am those other guys? Or am I wearing a mask now? Explain how I have a different face than these guys you showed. I'll even like my own comment. It's a good question. And he goes, a mask? Prosthetics? Laughing emojis. That's for dummies. I'm claiming you're an archon that can take on many forms and has access to numerous vessels, of which I have identified many. So he thinks CIA masks and prosthetics are bullshit and that I'm magically a shape-shifting archon. And he's caught me. So if that's the case, I can literally be anyone or anything. So what's to stop him from saying I'm 20, 30 other people? Like, why do I have to be John Hamm if I'm also Arnold Schwarzenegger, if I'm Richie from Boston, if I am Macho Man Randy Savage? I'm everyone who ever existed if I have the ability to transform. But he's only claiming that I'm these like 3 people. And then there's other people jumping in to like take this guy's side. Facts, my brother. Nothing but facts. I always get excited about when your next upload will be, especially when they have to do with exposing a famous multi-roller. So I don't know if this guy like creates all his own positive comments, because there's not that many comments. See, that's it. There's not many. So like this guy right here says, wow, just wow, thank you. Like, is that even a real person? Wow, just wow, thank you for saying that I'm a archon shapeshifter. Wow, just wow. So I'm wondering if a lot of these comments are just him in sock accounts talking to himself, you know? Because with small channels like this, they can easily have 10, 12 sock accounts and then be like, wow, this is such a great exposing. Thank you, Aaron Haywood. You're amazing, right? And it's just Aaron talking to Aaron. So you can see, like, I watched the dude's video. I even tried to ask him, like, what are you doing, dude? Are you being serious? And yes, he is. He's totally serious. So if he wants my attention, he's got it. And he's got the attention of my audience. 464 people watching. Let's see him prove that I am a shape-shifting archon.
should be easy to see now that it's pointed out. Now, obviously, their appearances aren't identical because these are archons that take on many roles. Now,
so he can look at me and tell that I'm an archon who can play many roles. You know how he can tell? Just by looking at me. So what the fuck stops those Ghostbusters from being archons? Oh, those aren't archons. Those are just people dressed up as Ghostbusters. So those other people in the background there behind me, the Ghostbusters, those aren't archons. And you know how he can tell? He just knows. So he can look at someone and know just by looking that they're a shape-shifting archon, and he also knows which people that I am. So he knows by looking at me I'm an archon, and he knows I'm also John Hamm. But he doesn't mention any of these Ghostbusters behind me as also being archons. So apparently they are dismissed from any and all evil doing. Right? So he can tell who is and is not a shapeshifter, and he knows which people you are. So I'm magical. I transform into John Hamm. I don't use a CIA mask. I don't use contact lenses or prosthetics. I magically shapeshift, which means I can also magically shapeshift into Andre the Giant in his prime. I can magically shapeshift into a 7-foot tall, 500-pound man. I choose not to do it because I just don't feel like it. So if you want me to become Andre the Giant, I have that ability because I'm a shapeshifting archon. I can turn into anyone or anything. But I don't feel like being Andre the Giant. I only feel like being John Hamm, but not right now. So if you want me to turn into John Hamm right now and show you that I'm magical, I don't feel like doing it, and I'm not gonna. So you'll just have to wait until I transform into him. Now, John Hamm's not gonna tell you the same story as me. He's not gonna tell you he's Jake the asshole, but he's a liar. This is hilarious. I'm having so much fun with this, if you can't tell. John Hamm won't tell you that he's Jake the asshole. You know what would be funny is if I got in contact with John Hamm or any one of these people he says I am and actually join them on screen and do like a simulcast with both of us on screen together. But of course, that would just me being an archon using my dirty archon tricks and having one of my evil archon buddies pretend to be the other. So it wouldn't be enough. Even if I was to get in contact with John Hamm and have him come on here and be like, look, see, we're not the same person. It's in the archon's evil ability to do that with other people helping me. Right? I just have one of my buddies pretend to be John in that moment. So, of course, I would be lying. That's right. 100% exposed. I bet you guys never knew I'm lots of other people. I can be anyone I want. You thought I was just good at doing voices? No, I am everyone who ever existed whenever I feel like being them. It's not a talent. It's an actual super ability that I have. I'm an archon. It's what we do. See the hat? Symbol of the Nephilims, baby.
Did you guys remember Career Day last year? Elaine Hartzell.
And as you can see in his thumbnails, because these are archons that take on many roles. Now, another giveaway here, because they leave little clues. So I want you to have a look at this photo here. From John Hamm. See what he's doing there with the eyebrow. Now we'll come across to Jake. And as you can see in his thumbnails, he's also always making that face.
There it is, 100% proof. I have eyebrows. John Hamm has eyebrows. And we both use our eyebrows in the same exact manner because we're the same people. This is real truth, you guys. I'm admitting I'm an evil shape-shifting Archon. I am John Hamm. He has eyebrows. I have eyebrows. They are the same eyebrows. That's why we take pictures doing that same shit. Because I leave little clues. I purposely left this clue, a little crumb, so that Aaron Haywood, Tasmania's most truthiest truther, would find it and expose me. I did that purposely. I leave little clues and hints as to who I am so that the most smart truthers will find those crumbs and expose me. That's what I do. You are welcome. Mr. Funny Name says, I'm engineer. I wouldn't go down in a submersible made of carbon fiber. It's lunacy. If any slight pressure change, you have nothing to rely on. Yeah, there ain't no way I would want to go down in any little tiny shit submarine like that. Especially not now. Thank you, Mr. Funny Names, for the donation. Yes, Jonna, mentally ill, definitely. Like, for someone to be that ridiculous, like, make up that claim. Like, I felt like he has to be doing it just for my attention. But, like, what are you going to do? Like, I'm showing your video. It's not like my audience is all going to, like, go join him. It's like, are you guys going to go rush to be part of this guy's audience? Like, how many subs is he going to gain by me showing how retarded he is? Right? Like, I'm showing you guys how stupid he is. It's the dumbest thing anyone has ever said about me in the history of YouTube. And there's been some crazy, weird, dumb shit that has been said about me. And this is by far the most ridiculous. So if his whole goal was to get my attention, well, I hope it works out for you, bro. I hope that this makes you famous. Me showing your little channel, showing how stupid you are. If that's what you had in mind, that's what you got. I have no problem doing it because it's entertaining for me and my audience to see how stupid someone is. And because I want to show you guys there's a bunch of little tiny channels out there who will complain that if a channel's big, they must be a shill. But some of these little channels will say some stupid shit like this. And it doesn't matter if they're a little tiny channel, like they're still making shit up, or they're delusional, or they're just doing it for attention. Whatever the case, it's not truth. Clearly nothing anywhere near truth. So if you're going to try to make me look bad, you probably should have went with option A and take stuff that I've said and cut it up. Cut up those times where I'm doing impressions and acting crazy and try and make it look like I'm unhinged, and then tell people that I'm crazy and unhinged while showing the clips of me out of context. Doing that works better than just claiming I'm an Archon shapeshifter. So I doubt that this guy's going to get anywhere doing this, especially with me egging him on. Like, go ahead, dude, make more videos about me. I'll show them during my live streams. I will make it a form of entertainment on my channel. Every time you put out a video about me, I will tell everyone who else you think I am. Hey, guess what, guys? Part 2. He thinks I'm 10 other people. Let's finish the exposing of me.
With the eyebrow raised. Okay, now another role that Jake the Arsehole, aka John Hamm, plays is Chad from Open Your Reality.
That's me too. I'm Chad from Open Your Reality. That's me. I'm John Hamm, and I'm Chad Open Your Reality. I can be anyone. I'm magical. I have the ability to transform into anyone or anything. And out of all the things in the world, you know what I choose? John Hamm and Open Your Reality. And guess what? I leave little crumbs and clues so the guys like Aaron Haywood can find it and expose me. Okay? Just making sure everyone's following along. Me and that guy on screen are the same dude. Now you know.
Just zoom in on that face. And now that I've brought down the veil,
Zoom in on the face. Now that he's broken the veil, now that he's exposed the whole thing, you can see it, right? I'm that guy. I don't wear blue contact lenses. I just magically shapeshift. I don't do it now. Like you guys probably want me to shapeshift into that guy right now and prove that it's me. No, don't feel like it. So Aaron Haywood's right. I am an Archon shapeshifter, and I am that guy. But I don't feel like turning into him right now. See? I pick and choose when I want to turn into someone, and I only do it behind closed doors. No one ever gets to see me magically shapeshift. I do it in private. All right? It's not something I share with anyone. So shapeshifting happens in private, not on camera ever. I can be anyone I want, and I choose John Hamm and this guy on screen. Whoever the hell he is. Chad something or other. Rapture Ready says, just got here, bro. What did I miss? We went over the fake submarine, Titanic, submersible implosion shit for like the first, I don't know, hour or so. And then we transitioned into this guy calling me a shapeshifter. That's all you've missed. Yeah, you'll definitely want to go back and watch from the beginning after the stream's over. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. So yeah, guys, he lifted the veil. He said that I'm that guy. And now that he said I'm that guy, can't you see? We're the same. Yes. But see, that's the thing. I even made sure, like, so you're saying that I wear a mask? And he's like, no, that's for dummies. You're a shapeshifter. And I caught you. So he assured me I'm a shapeshifter and that masks are for dummies. So he's not even trying to say that I put blue contact lens on or wear a CIA mask. No, that's stupid. I magically shapeshift when I feel like it. Which is, of course, not in front of cameras. I hope he watches this. He probably won't. But that would be hilarious if he actually sits here and watch me make him look like an absolute idiot. All right, guys, if you're having fun here, if you're enjoying what we've done here, give me a thumbs up. We have over 400 people watching. Why don't you guys do me a solid and get that thumbs up over 300? I see 265. Get it up over to over 300. Smash the thumbs up, and we will continue. Oh, shit, we're up to 280. Keep them coming. YouTube likes it when you smash your thumb up its bum. That's what makes YouTube come. So if you want to make YouTube come, stick your thumb up the bum, and we shall continue. Oh, yeah. Just got a super chat coming in from David Yount. One sec. David Yount with a super chat says, Jake, I need you to give Q and Fee a shout out on his latest video and his continued work of smashing the Fight the Flat Earth. Also hit them likes, peeps. Yeah, I give Q and Fee a shout out usually once or twice every month. So yeah, he put out a video, I think, debunking like Einstein and Fight the Flat Earth all in one video. It was good. So yeah, check out Q and Fee's latest uploads. And thank you, David Yount. I appreciate that. And yes, everybody from white to Latino to black and everybody in between, no matter what color your thumb is, hit the thumbs up for Jake the Asshole's sake. All right, we made it. We're over 300. We shall continue.
Nice. And now that I've brought down the veil, it's the same entity. If you come down and have a look at the videos here on his channel, I mean, look at the way that he portrays himself here. With the cap, the blonde hair, clearly a character. There's no way he's going to dress like that if he was a real human being, and that was his only role here in this realm.
Yeah, no human being would have blonde hair and wear a hat. So, of course, he's an Archon. I'm an Archon. We are the same Archon. Clearly, now that the veil has been lifted, you guys can all see the similarities between me, John Hamm, and this guy. It would be hilarious if I got a hold of John Hamm and this guy, and we all did a stream together. But he would just tell you it's the evil voodoo of the Archons, and we're just trying to trick you into believing we're not Archons, because that's what Archons do. Rocky Shepherd here with a donation says, did you hear the theory that the sub thing was a ritual like the Titanic? It is to usher in the new digital currency like they did after the Titanic with the Fed notes. It could be some sort of symbolism tied to that. It's tough for me to know exactly, what it might symbolize. I heard some other people saying it symbolizes the downfall of the American dollar, signifies the downfall of the economy, sinking of the economy. So I've heard people make connections like that, but there's no way to know for sure that it's exactly that. So we can speculate that it was a ritual, but either way, it's fake. So it's a fake ritual. See what I'm saying? I don't think the submarine actually went down and imploded and actually killed anyone. So if it is a ritual, well, it's nothing. It's a fake story. See what I'm saying? So that's at least what I think, is that it didn't even happen. So they could use it as some sort of signal to say that there's going to be a financial collapse, and that the currency is going to sink like the Titanic. But you have to extrapolate that in your own head. Seth says, should I buy Bitcoin? Just know that all cryptocurrency is controlled by the government. So they have their finger in it. And so you can make money on crypto. Like if you bought a whole Bitcoin right now, and then in the next 5 years it goes up to $100,000, then yeah, you're going to make money. But just know that, like, you're talking about a currency that can be affected by Elon Musk tweeting. Like if Elon Musk tweets that Bitcoin smells like poop, it will lose value immediately because Elon Musk tweets something negative. So if you want to get in the business of relying on a cryptocurrency where the government's got their finger in it, to where a puppet like Elon Musk can tweet about it and cause it to go up 10,000 or down 10,000 in a night, that's on you. So if you have a bunch of extra money laying around and you want to invest it in some different places, and cryptocurrency is one of the places you want to invest, then do what you think is best for you. I don't like to give out financial advice because I know what it's like to be wrong about shit like this. So unlike others, I'll admit I got into crypto and then realized it's way more controlled than I thought it was. And so I don't push it or promote it anymore. In fact, I warn people about it. But I don't tell people, definitely to not touch it, because if you have your mind made up and you want to buy Bitcoin and then it goes up, then you're going to feel good about making that decision. So if you have your heart set on buying crypto and you feel like it's going to go up over the next few years and you're going to get out while you're ahead, if you think you can do it all and make that money, go for it. I'm personally sitting on the crypto that I bought that's not worth near as much as it was, waiting for it to go back to where it was. So I'm still sitting on the old crypto that I bought that went down, hoping that it goes back up. So I haven't actually taken a loss on what I've invested in. I'm just sitting on it. I'm learning that it's a long-term investment and it's very volatile. So don't put yourself, I recommend you don't put yourself in a situation where you put all your eggs into the crypto basket and put yourself in some sort of situation where you have to take a loss because you bought too much too fast and then it went down and then you got scared and then sold and took a loss. Because that's how they get a lot of people. You buy some, the number starts going down, you panic, you sell, and now you've taken that loss. That's how they get you. Let's finish up this guy exposing me, and then we'll move on.
So I'll just zoom in on the face. Should be quite easy to see now. That is John Hamm. So Jake the Arsehole. It's another Archon inside of this realm, playing many roles and mocking you with attire like that as he does it.
I'm playing many roles. In the hat, it's mocking you. The hat is here to mock you while I play the role of John Hamm and Chad, the other guy. While I do those other roles and I wear this hat, I was hoping nobody would figure it out, but I did leave little clues. Sure enough, Aaron Haywood, the most intelligent truther in the history of Tasmania, he got me. I'm an all-con. Mr. Funny Names says, bro, check Estonia ferry passenger disaster. They covered the wreck in concrete. Would love to see your thoughts on this in a live. And then shake my head odd. Estonia ferry passenger disaster. I'll have to write it down so I don't forget. Estonia ferry. All right. So let me show Aaron Haywood, if he sees this, how to do research. So if you go back and you watch old streams and whatnot, I give away the information that I was singing and playing in bands before I was ever on YouTube and doing even little tiny open mics and such, and that I've been wearing funny hats, not just this one, but all sorts of different funny hats as my musical gimmick. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like and how long that's been going on. So if you type in solo bass Jake or solo bass Jake, whichever you prefer, you're going to find me, right? And so here's video from 10 years ago. And then this one I have on my beer mug hat. It's a different hat than this one. Here's one from 10 years ago. I'm wearing the hat. This one I have on right now. This one right here, I'm wearing the beer mug in this one. This one I have on the fuzzy purple hat. Here's the beer mug hat. And these are all like a decade old. Before I even was Jake the Asshole or even Flat Earth Asshole, before that ever happened, before I ever said anything conspiratorial, I was playing at open mics. And anyone who's like, yeah, but entertainment and the music industry is controlled. These are open mics. I didn't make any money. I was doing this for fun. So nobody can make the argument that I was a paid music industry plant who transitioned into being a conspiracy guy. No, I was a local musician and I wore funny hats. That was my thing that I did. And there's plenty of proof out there of me doing that. This one's 12 years old. That's what I'm talking about. Baby, said I've been feeling lately. Something is right now. Gotta make kind of crazy. My brain all feeling hazy. And this is what I know. Solo bass get the booty bumping. Like the night before. Love to take it slowly on. No, I love it fast. Memory ever fading, baby. Gotta make it last. Last. Got to make it last. All right, so this Aaron character tells you I'm wearing a hat and I'm mocking you. And I'm telling you, I've been wearing funny hats, not just this one, but other funny hats, because I was a funk musician, still am a funk musician. I'm a psychedelic musician. And wearing funny hats was what I did to separate myself from others at the open mic. It was literally a visual gimmick. So other people, where I got the idea from, like Bootsy Collins, for instance, there was a black dude named Bootsy Collins who would wear funky glasses and get-ups. And so I was basically like being the white Bootsy Collins, right? So I'll even show you Bootsy Collins for those of you who have never heard of him. So I was basically just taking the Bootsy Collins look and then transferring it over to me, a white guy, because Bootsy was an older musician, so the younger generation it wasn't familiar with him. So I knew that if I was to take this look and have my own slap bass stuff and my own funky jams, that I could be like the white Bootsy Collins. It was really just a music gimmick at the time. And so if I'm a shape-shifting Archon, I guess you could say I'm also Bootsy Collins. Or is Bootsy Collins Jake the Asshole? Or is Bootsy Collins John Hamm? Or is that not possible if you're black? So, right? So this look that I use today is just a flashy psychedelic look meant for appeal to the audience. It's just a visual stimulation while you're entertaining a crowd. So for Aaron to be like, oh, this hat is a symbol of the Nephilim, it's this, it's that, he's mocking you with this attire. No, it's meant to be flashy and colorful, like the music is flashy and colorful. So there you go. So it's funny when someone takes something like my hat and tries to be like, oh, it's a Jester's hat and it's Masonic and he's mocking you. It's like, bro, nuh-uh, that's not true. I was playing bass and I thought that, if I wore a funky, cool hat to go with my funky, cool bass licks, it would give some people something visually stimulating to look at while I'm doing my thing so that I'm not just a dude in cargo shorts. That was the whole thought. So just like Bootsy Collins didn't just want to be a black dude on stage wearing just a regular shirt, he decided if he had funky glasses and a hat and a crazy look, that would be more visually appealing. No different than Macho Man Randy Savage having a crazy hat and get up and look. So some cats like to have colorful clothing, what have you, as their gimmick, a way to set them apart from others. That's it. There's really nothing more to it than that. Yeah. But, they don't have anything to make me look bad as far as like proof that I'm a bad guy. So they have to grasp at straws, call me a shape-shifting Archon. My hat's a symbol of the Nephilim. Right. So there you go. That's what you get in a Jake the Asshole Exposed video. You get to find out I am John Hamm. I am Chad, whoever he was. I am magical. I'm a shapeshifter. No, you cannot see me shapeshift here live. I only do it in private. I don't know. If you send like maybe a $500 super chat, maybe I'll shapeshift. Maybe. Just kidding. Don't send $500 because I'm maybe not going to shapeshift. Unless you're dying to send $500 to see me maybe not shapeshift, which I probably won't. That is what a shapeshifter would say. Of course, everyone who gets caught as being a shapeshifter always denies it. So it's kind of crazy that I'm actually admitting that I am a shapeshifter. But that's only because I'm trying to act like I'm being sarcastic to make you not believe I am a shapeshifter. Haha, he got me. I am a shapeshifter. Haha. See, that's me being sarcastic so that you don't believe that I am one. See? But I really am one. Oh. Isn't that funny AF? That shit is funny AF. I agree. See, I've had people make up shit about me before, but never anyone call me a shape-shifting archon and then say that I'm these other humans. That's the first. Maybe he'll make more. Aaron, if you make more videos talking about other people who I am, I'll show it to my audience. Like 400 people saw this video, dude. Here live. That's more than who watched your video. And then over the next few days, this will probably get, between 5, 6, 7,000 views. You know how many people are going to know who Aaron Haywood is? They're going to know how smart you are. You're going to blow up, dude. You're going to get so much attention exposing me. Your channel's going to be so huge, dude. Congrats, Aaron. You are the truthiest truther who ever told the truth. I am all 5 people allegedly missing from the sub. Yes, I'm all those people. I know. I am George Floyd. I attended my own funeral. I am the guy who kneeled on his head. I'm magical. I can shapeshift. I am both the guy who kneeled on George Floyd's head and George Floyd and John Hamm and Chad, that other dude, and anyone else I want to be whenever I want to be them. But I'm not going to do it, and I'm not going to transform now while you're watching. I'm evil. I don't do that. I wait until it's private, and I go in a closet and I shapeshift when no one's watching, and I make sure there's no cameras in the room that are on, and I go inside of a closet in the darkness and I shapeshift, and I come out as John Hamm or whoever I feel like being. Rapture Ready says, in your travels, what states have the nicest people and which have the meanest? I didn't really come across like a shitload of mean people on my trip. So I don't know. It's not really like a question I can give you a good answer to. And then like in certain areas, I went to like a nice, like Seattle is said to be a shithole, but I went to the nice area, Alki Beach, and had a good time, and everyone seemed like in a good mood and out enjoying the beach. So, and then when I stayed in Portland in a sketchy area, the bums who were like living on the streets, like none of them like bothered me or gave me any trouble. So I can't say that they were mean either. So no one was really mean on my entire trip to me. So I don't really have any thing to give you there. Everybody was pretty cool. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Sorry I don't have like a concrete answer for you on that one. Everybody I met on the trip on my last trip was cool, and I can't think of any certain state that like sticks out to me as like the mean state. I've heard like, you know, like in New York City, people have a certain attitude, and East Coast people in general are slightly more attitudey, or West Coast people are more entitled or more this or that. But I can't tell you exactly what state is the meanest in my opinion. Yes, I met Kat at Alki Beach. Yes, Lacar's data node, but not all harmless are bums. No, not all harmless are bums, and not all bums are harmless. Indeed. I'm just saying, I stayed in a sketchy area of Portland where people were putting up tents on the sidewalk and shit, a place that you would think might be dangerous. And the people that I did meet, you know, besides like asking for a cigarette or whatever, they were not mean to me. So like the dude sleep camping out on the street, he was actually he was cool when I talked to him. So it can all just depend, but that doesn't mean that like in every neighborhood where there's a bunch of homeless people that it's going to be nice and awesome. Yes, I am back home. I've been home for like 2 weeks now. Um, I explained in a couple streams ago that trying to do content on the road about being on the road while I set up meetups one after the other, it wasn't sustainable. So trying to keep that going like all summer long. The views were not very good on those videos, and the less people watching means the less people are going to show up to the meetups. And if people aren't showing up to the meetups, then I'm spending time driving around setting up meetups for declining attendance. And that's not a good, it just wasn't a good formula. So when I came back and made a regular video about aliens in the backyard, I immediately got double the amount of views. So it basically tells me I need to be here in the office if I'm going to make good quality content. And trying to make content on the road about being on the road is just not going to work long term. And then setting up meetups on the road, on the fly, driving into cities I've never been and trying to figure it out on the fly, where and when, how to do it. It just wasn't sustainable. So gave it a shot for 3 weeks. It was fun. Saw some cool stuff, met some cool people, but to try and keep it going all the way to Maine and all the way down the East Coast and hit like every major city, it was the odds were, or there was just shit working against me. That's all I can say. So I had to shut it down. I have to figure out doing it a different way, like set up 1 or 2 meetups, promote them for like a month straight, and then just do 1 or 2 meetups, and then come back, wait a while, and then promote another couple. So if I am to do meetups again, I'm gonna like do it differently, like strategically just promote like 1 or 2 locations for a lot longer ahead of time. So yeah, it's a shame that I had to cut the trip short, but logistically it wasn't going to work for me to keep going. Rapture Ready says biggest win you ever hit on slots. So 2 answers to that. So on 1 slot, the most I got in 1 sitting is 1,250. Over the course of 1 whole night, playing many different slots, like a 1 full night walking around, I did 2,200. So 2 answers to that. Which there's other people who've hit for 10,000, you know, fucking got to hold the big check and take a big picture, you know, that they post at the casino for everyone to see. So I've never had any huge, gigantic win like that, but there's a good chance that could happen to me one day. I put myself in position to win big eventually. Jenny wants to go to the casinos. Well, in Oregon, they do have some, and there were some advantage machines, but in Washington State, they don't have advantage machines, and so I figured out Washington State sucks if you want to like be an advantage gambler because they remove all those machines and then they change the few that they do have to not be advantage machines. So once I got out of Washington State, then I started winning money again. So yeah, Jenny, the big casino that we checked out there in Washington, I come to find out by visiting a few others, Washington is a no-go state for advantage slots. California's got some bigger ones, and then Reno has some casinos. So basically, you just got to learn the machines. And if I walked around and showed you for a few hours, you would definitely know a lot more than nothing. But yeah, you just got to figure out which ones are advantage machines, know how they work, and then you walk around constantly and just check. So, for instance, you have the one you have over in Coos Bay, the casino called the Mill. It's smaller, but you could go there once or twice a day, walk in, check the machines that they do have, and then anytime you find an advantage, you could drop in there and play it. So theoretically, once I show you the machines, you could go to that one little one you have near you, go in there and just check the like 5-10 machines that they have. And if it's nothing, you just walk out and go home. I haven't checked Colorado for machines, so they might have Indian reservation casinos, but I haven't been to Colorado in years. And the last time I was there, I didn't do any gambling. I didn't know about the slot shit yet. So I've only been winning at slots for since 2019. That's when I actually became pro and started winning way more than I lose, to the point where I'm an actual pro slot player. But I couldn't tell you about Colorado. I'd have to look it up. Scratch offs are a scam for poor people. So people who are successful and have good jobs typically don't buy scratchers. People who like think 5,000 or 10,000 would be life-changing money. People who like live paycheck to paycheck, those are the ones who buy scratchers and sit in their car and go, please, 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 please. Oh, please, please, please. Oh, I want another ticket. I'm going to take this ticket that says I want another ticket and go get a ticket. Thank you. Please, please, please. Oh, I lost. Imagine that. You go in, you buy a ticket, you win another ticket, and then you lose. Just prolonged your losing, right? Theoretically, you could win multiple tickets and then still lose. So yeah, poor people are the ones who play scratchers. And so if they have an extra $2-3, they will spend that on a scratcher and then sit in their car and hope that they win. And so people who have thousands of dollars to spare don't buy scratchers. So people who gamble away a lot of money typically do it at a casino. They don't do it with scratchers. So poor people who don't have a lot of money to gamble at the casino are the ones who will buy the scratchers because they heard a story of a friend who won $1,000 or somebody won $5,000, and oh my God, that's such a huge amount of money. If I could just scratch this thing and win 10,000, oh my God. That's a poor person's pipe dream. And the lottery is a scam as well. So if you look into lotteries, like they're rigged, and the people who win them, like they've been exposed as being part of the scam as well. So yeah, lottery, scratchers, all just free money for the government. Yeah, it's a scam. They want you to buy into the notion that you can change your life with a lucky lottery ticket. Poor people buy into shit like that, physically buy into it. So there's money selling the pipe dream of winning money to poor people. Exactly, Jenny. You'd be rare if you knew anyone who won anything big. And even if you did, I'll bet you over their lifetime they spent that much on scratchers. So if you won a grand, I'll bet you the people who've won like a grand are the type who buy $5-10 worth like every single week for the last fucking 20-30 years or whatever. So if every week you're putting 5-10-20 into scratchers, and then over the amount of years, like 20-30 years, they've got thousands of your dollars. So if you were to finally win 500 or 1,000 after you've already put a few G's into it, like what did you really do? Right? So that's the same thing with slots. Like there's people who will win a jackpot, but they won't be that excited. And that's because they've already lost thousands of dollars over the course of their life. To where when they finally win a little bit, it's not that big of a deal. See, I've won way more than I've lost. So every time I win even a little bit, I'm like, yeah, hell to the yeah. If I win 200, 300 bucks, I'm like, yeah, woo. I like clap and I say woo out loud, even though I've won 200-300 bucks thousands of times. It's not life-changing money. I just like winning. Winning doesn't get old to me. So whenever I win, I'm like, yay! Whereas people who lose a lot, when you see them win and they don't look excited, the reason is because they've lost so damn much. Usually. This is partially correct. The house always wins, except not always. There's the times where they don't. So there are sports gamblers who know that sports are rigged and they bet on the underdogs at the right times and they win more than they lose. And if you bet a lot on sports, the apps that you can bet on will kick you off. So if you start beating the house too much, they'll kick you off. And so as far as like slots go, if you're talking about the slot getting money put into it, yeah, the house is going to win because people are going to put money in the slot. But a guy like me can walk in, strategically play at the right moment, and walk out with their money. So in that case, they didn't beat me, but they got someone else's money. And then that money became my money, but they didn't beat me personally. So I win more than I lose, but the machines that I'm winning on are still taking in other people's money, and the casino is still making money on those machines. I just also make money on those same machines that the casino has installed in their casino. So we both make money in that case. And also, if a casino doesn't get enough people to come in and lose, then they'll go out of business. So there are casinos that have went out of business. So how can a casino go out of business if they always have the advantage? Well, you need enough people to come in and lose enough money to cover all the bills and all the salaries of everyone who works there and everything to make it profitable. And so there have been casinos that don't make enough money and fail. So in that case, you could say the house didn't win enough. So there are popular sayings like the house always wins, but it's not necessarily true. For instance, Donald Trump failed when he opened up a casino in Atlantic City. It didn't make it. So the house didn't win in that circumstance. Yes, in particular, a successful casino is going to be making more money on their table games and slots than they are losing, for sure. That's how the whole thing works. That's how those places exist. But there are people very few, but there are people out there who are legitimate professional gamblers, and you can beat the casino. At sports, if you know it's rigged and you bet on the right underdogs at the right times, you can stick it to the casino. Then there's other gamblers who play poker, and then you're up against other gamblers. And for poker, the casino just deals the cards and gives you a place to play poker. So they're not playing you in poker. So if you're a poker player and you're confident in your poker abilities to beat other poker players, the casino's just there to deal the cards and take the little tiny percent of each pot by giving you the opportunity to play poker against other people. And so if you're awesome at poker and you're the type who can sit there and grind out more money than you lose, then you can theoretically write down on your taxes that you are a professional gambler. And there are people that do that. There literally are people who play poker all day, every day, online, in person, whatever, and they win more than they lose. I'll bet you there's somebody here in chat who probably is one of those people. And if it's a grind, it's a job like anything else. So if you think like it's all like fun and games or whatever, fucking any sort of way you're going to make money gambling, it's going to be a grind. Sitting there grinding out poker. I don't want to do it. I like poker, but after 5-6 hours of sitting there on my ass in a semicircle, staring at cards and folding cards and making bets, I get sick of it. So I think it's fun to sit there and play for a couple hours for a set amount of money, but like night after night play poker, oh God, hell no. It's a drag. But there's guys out there who've made millions playing poker, legitimately made millions of dollars just beating other poker players, winning tournaments. Is that common? Does that mean you're probably going to be able to do that too? No, but there are people out there who are good with gambling and numbers and find a way to turn that advantage in their favor. Rapture Ready says, how did you learn about advantage gambling? So the first game that set me off was a game called Scarab. Scarab is played over 10 spins. So it tells you spin 1, spin 2, spin 3. It tells you what spin you're on. What you're trying to do is accumulate wilds, which happen randomly. And the wilds stay stuck on the spot where they land, and they become wild on the 10th spin. So I started because one game I found had an advantage. Well, here, I'll even show you.
What if you could do it?
All right. So there's other people who've given away this information. In fact, it's like common knowledge to a lot of slot players. But there's suckers who don't know what they're doing, who leave advantages behind on slot machines. And this is the first machine that got me started and changed my life. Life-changing shit. And here's a video not made by me telling you exactly how to do it. All you have to do is look this shit up and watch this shit.
Filming of the Seminole Hard Rock today, and we have permission to film here. So I figured I'd do a thing today on banking slots or advantage slots. This is a machine called Scarab. It's an older machine. They got it in a lot of casinos. And this is one of those slot machines that you can find in an advantageous state if you know what you're looking for. Now, full disclosure, I played this for a few minutes before we shot this video because I sort of put it in a more advantageous state because I didn't want to spend time wandering around the whole casino looking to see if there was possibly one.
Okay, so this guy's telling you he purposely played this machine to an advantage so that he could show you how the advantage works. So if you look at what's on the screen, that on $3.75 on that denomination, that one has been played 10 times. In the right hand corner down at the bottom, you'll see it says 10 out of 10. So that's the counter, which tells you how many spins you've played. And so you're trying to accumulate wilds over the course of 10 spins. On the 10th spin, all the wilds you accumulate take effect. So what you see on screen is the last person who played 10 out of 10 spins. And so what he's done is he's played one of these denominations to an advantage so that he can show you how the advantage works.
So the way it works is it goes in cycles of 10 spins, right? And once it gets to 10 of 10, as you can see, anything that's got the sparkly on it turned wild on that 10th spin. And the way it works is if you get a little scarab symbol, let's see if there's any on the board anywhere. There are not. But so every bet level is different. So this is the one I played. So as you look, you go through, so you see that's 10 of 10. Somebody had already played that one. 10 of 10, somebody played that one. 1 of 10, so no one's played this one yet. 10 of 10, somebody played this one. But if you look at this one, this is the one I was playing. You see we're at 8 of 10. So, and it...
Okay, so that's an advantage machine in an advantage state to where if you walked up and you found that machine right there sitting on 8 spins, all those rings right there on the screen, those little rings, the golden ring things, those are going to turn wild. So that means there's going to be a 5 of a kind in the middle, and then there's some wilds in the back. So on your final spins, if you get more wilds, all those are going to turn wild on 10 spin. And so if somebody has played it 8 times and you find that there's wilds up there, enough of them, and you know you only have to play it 2 times, that means you know you're going to win money for sure. You might not know exactly how much you're going to win, and you won't know, but you can walk up and in this case know for a fact, okay, I'm only going to have to play this one 2 times because it's 8 out of 10 right now, and I'm going to get those wilds up there. And if any more wilds come, it's just going to be even more of an advantage. So once I figured out this game, I walked around every casino in Reno and found every scarab machine I could find and checked it. And I won. And then I realized later on, a couple weeks later, a month later, that there were other machines that were slightly different that also had advantages. So once I figured out one machine had an advantage and then figured out there was a few others, then I just went and learned any type of advantage machine I could find. And the thing is, there's not that many. So most machines are just completely random. There's no advantage to be had. Machines like this that have the 10 out of 10 spins and you accumulate the wilds, there's an advantage to be accumulated and had. So in this case, if you only play when you find the advantage, you're gonna win. So anytime someone tells me there's no way to have an advantage on a slot machine, that's a person who's stupid, who doesn't know what they're talking about. And every time I tell people that I am a professional slot player, somebody in the chat who thinks they're smarter than me will make laughing emojis and try to tell everyone that I'm a liar and there's no way to have an advantage on a slot machine. Well, they're stupid and they don't know what they're talking about, because literally what you're looking at is a guy showing you that's an advantage. So we'll watch and see what happens when he spins it 2 more times.
2 more spins. Everything that's got the gold swirly around it is going to be wild. And as you can see, you're guaranteed a full pay line here in the middle. I think this should be worth it. And it's 75 cents a spin. So for 2 spins, we got to bet $1.50. And let's see what we end up with here. So we're going to do 1 spin here. And then 1 last. So this next spin, everything that's got the gold swirl is going to be wild. So let's see how this goes here. Now, mind you, I was just on the lowest pay level because I figured if I was going to sit here and play this game until it was in an advantageous state, I want to bet as little as possible.
So for the sake of this video, he played it at 75 cents, which is the lowest denomination. He purposely played it until there was an advantage. and then he showed you how the machine works. So as you can see on spin number 10, all those gold rings turn wild. You get the 5 of a kind there in the middle. He got another 5 of a kind below it. So he has 5 kings, 5 jacks. It's all about creating, more than 3 of a kind of something. So whenever you can get wilds going all the way across the screen, that's going to be a big hit. So the more wilds you fill up on the screen, the bigger the hit's going to be. So with this machine, you finding it on spin 8 or 9 loaded with wilds isn't super common, but it can happen. If you're out there walking and checking, you can walk up and find people leave the wilds on these. What's more common is it'll be on spin 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and there's maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 wilds, and then you finish the rest. And then if in that case you do lose money, your loss is very small. So it's all about not taking large chances and instead flipping the odds to where the chances are that you're going to win. And in some cases, it's guaranteed you're going to win, depending what sort of advantage was left behind. So if someone leaves it on spin 9 and leaves a shitload of wilds, and you only have to do 1 spin, guaranteed you're going to win. Now, if somebody leaves 4 wilds and it's on spin 4, well, now you got to do 6 spins, and you don't know for sure whether you're going to win, but it's a good start. Whereas if you check it and it's been played 4 or 5 times and there's no wilds, you just walk away and don't even mess with it because there's no wilds even there. So you're just looking for mainly wilds on the screen. So there's different forms of advantages, and then your odds of winning or losing will all come down to like how many times it's been spun, how many wilds are on the board. That makes sense? So once you figure out how one machine has an advantage, and then you look up other advantage machines, you'll already have the minds. Once you figure out that a machine can be played to an advantage, you'll start looking for those types of machines. And so if a machine is just giving you random symbols and there's nothing to give you an advantage, that's a machine you want to ignore. So 70-80% or so of machines are totally random. There's no advantage. There's no way to check and see if you have an advantage. And so most machines are completely random. Those machines, I don't see them. They don't exist. My money never goes into those machines. I'm very strict. I only play ones where I have an advantage. I keep the odds in my favor. Now, you can still lose little bits if you walk up on a machine and it's been played 5 times and there's 5 wilds, but then no more come and you lose $4 or $5 trying to make it happen. So you can lose little bits, but eventually once you find a good advantage or two, you're going to win back whatever you lost. And then there's random bonus rounds that will come along magically. So there is luck on top of the advantage. So you could be playing, trying to go for this advantage and get bonus, bonus, bonus. And then suddenly they dump $300 in your lap on a random bonus when you were going for this little shit thing on the screen. So bonuses are just extra money included in that randomly happen. So there you go. I had literally a life-changing moment because I found these machines. I used to lose, and I expected to lose. And I would bring money knowing, okay, this is it. I brought 200. When I lose this 200, it's done. No more. I'd bring money knowing I was going to lose. And that's what lots of people do. Now, I expect to win. In fact, tonight, my choice was go to the casino or do a live stream. And if I do a live stream, I know I'll make $50, $100 just in super chats. So I know guaranteed I'm going to make money if I do a live stream. But I know if I don't do a live stream or YouTube and I go to the casino, I have the chance to maybe make 500 or 1,000 in the night. And so slots can be a lot more lucrative if you're willing to put in the time and effort, just walking around and checking all night long. So tonight I said I'm going to stay home and do streams or a stream and just do YouTube instead. But I had the option. So if I am going to go out and do slots, I like to choose a night when it's busy. The more people playing, the more chance somebody leaves behind an advantage. So if you go to a casino that's busy on a Saturday night and you see someone playing these machines, you can see someone sometimes get up and walk away and leave the damn wilds. And the only way you're going to be there to cash in on that is if you're there walking around checking the machines. Because if you're not there and someone leaves an advantage, the guy who is there is going to get them. And trust me, there's a guy at your casino near you right now checking these machines right now. At the casino I go to, there's probably 10 motherfuckers walking around checking all those machines. And if I go there, I would be bumping into them over and over. So anyone and everyone who knows this info is free to go walk around and check the machines. So it just comes down to like, are you willing to do that 5, 6, 7 hours in a night? And you have to learn and know what you're doing so that you don't get your ass kicked. Because if you don't know what you're doing, these machines can gobble up your money. So I've explained this over and over. It's like anything else. It's a job. Rose, oh, you're welcome. She says, thanks for choosing the stream. You're welcome. Yeah, on weekends, it comes down to like, do I want to do a stream or do I want to walk around and try to make cash? And so every week, like come weekend time, I got to figure out like, do I want to like do a stream? Do I want to go somewhere? Or do I want to just go do the casino thing? And the casino thing's like a job. So when I win money, it's fun. But even when I win money, it's like it still gets boring. So I have nights where I walk around, make $500 in a night, but I walk around all damn night pressing buttons and checking machines. And so is winning money fun? Yes, but if you want to do it over and over again, it's going to be a job, and you're going to have to, your job is going to be walking around. So I like to equate it in a way to like metal detecting. Can you go out and find a diamond ring if you go metal detecting? Yeah, you can find a diamond ring worth $5,000 on a beach. But you're probably not going to find that on day one, and you're probably not going to find it in hour one, and you're probably going to have to walk around miles and miles. So you're probably going to have to visit beach after beach and walk around miles and miles. So it's the same kind of thing. Like if I want to win a lot, I know I'm going to have to walk around and check machines. Can I get lucky and have the first machine spit out $400 or $500 right away? Yes, and that has happened. Just like you can take a metal detector to the beach and within an hour find a $5,000 ring. But what's more likely is you're going to have to spend all damn day walking around the beach, and maybe you'll find something worth money, right? So it's kind of like I equate it to like you got to put in that time and effort of walking around. And so I've had nights where it's 4 or 5 hours of nothing, and then an hour number 6, kapow! And I've had nights where I do 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and go home like down a little bit, or just up barely a little bit. And in that case, it's like a wash, so there's the chance if I would have went tonight, lost a little bit, won a little bit, lost a little, won a little bit, I can come home basically even. And then in that case, I feel like I wasted the day. So if I do a live stream, I know I'm always going to make at least some little super chats, and I'm going to get to entertain you guys. And it's entertaining for me to do a live stream. So it's always just a choice I have to make, whether I feel like sitting around doing a live stream or walking around the casino. And that's if I want to make money. If I go to like the beach or whatever, like for instance, if I say I want to go to Santa Cruz with my van and spend a few nights at the beach, then I know for sure I'm going to lose money. Because there's no casino over by the beach. And if I go over there in my van, I'm going to spend money to get there, spend money to get back, spend money while I'm there. So I actually lose the most money when I go take leisurely trips to the beach. Luck be a lady tonight. Look, be a lady tonight. David Yount says 4th is right around the corner. Yeah, where I live, there's a shitload of illegal fireworks. So I live in kind of a crappy area of Sacramento, but there's the best fireworks show you've ever seen. You just like walk. You don't even have to have any fireworks. Just walk outside, and in every direction is illegal fireworks, like stadium style, explode in the air fireworks. So the illegals around here, people who live in apartments and live in paycheck to paycheck, apparently have enough money to have like a small like army's worth of fireworks. And it's just crazy to me that so many poor people have such a gigantic pile of fireworks to where like you can live in a shitty area, walk outside, and see the best damn fireworks show. So where I live in California, it is guaranteed that you in every direction you look are going to see fireworks, and it goes from like not even it goes before dark until like 1 or 2 a.m. is when they finally start to calm down. But pretty much from like 8 p.m. until midnight, just non-stop bangs and booms. Non-stop. Like loud, loud booms. So not every state is like, the type of state that has lots of fireworks or whatever. So some states sell fireworks and tons of people in the neighborhood have fireworks, but not every area is like that. But in California, they have the legal ones that they sell, which just like the little showers, the ones that go. They sell those ones and legally, but that's not what people buy. People buy these illegal ones, like the stadium ones that go doo, and they shoot the big thing in the sky that explodes. Yeah, those are the ones that dominate the sky in California. If you live anywhere where there's a large Mexican population, Latino population, you are going to see a hell of a fireworks show. So the Latinos, the Mexicans, one thing I definitely love about their culture is they go balls to the wall on the fireworks to where I don't have to spend a dime. Why would I buy fireworks when every single Mexican around me is lighting off like buckets worth of illegals? So completely free, amazing fireworks show in California in any of the towns where there's a large Mexican population, which is a lot of them. Am I saying Mexicans like fireworks? Yes. And that is not racist. It is a fact. Yeah, those big ones that explode in the air, those are illegal here, but it does not stop anyone from lighting them off. And there's so many of them, the cops can't do anything about it. Yes, Latinos have fun parties where they dance all night long, except it's not so fun if you're a neighbor and it's 2 in the morning and you're ready to go to sleep and all you can hear is and then you hear people like yelling and screaming, and shit like that. I don't know why they do that. Like, why is it that Mexican people have to do typical Mexican noises to prove they're having so much fun at their party? Like, there's not like a typical white guy noise, but there's a typical Mexican noise, and it goes, shit like that. They do that shit at their parties over and over again. Like you don't hear like a typical Chinese party where they make a Chinese yell and you're like, those damn Chinese out there all night long doing their Chinese shit. But no, it's like Mexicans have like their own music that they all love and dance all night long to. And then they have their own yells, way of celebrating to make sure that any white people trying to sleep nearby do not get any sleep. Yeah, I know, but nobody goes to a party and goes, dude, just like screams dude or whatever. But Mexicans will go to a party and be like, and shit like that, right? Or whatever they do. Like if I go to a party and I'm having a great time, I don't have to scream bro at the top of my lungs. Uh, Beck Bex says Hawaiians have a yell too. Chi hui! Chi hui! I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'll take your word for it. I did not know that. That's new information to me. Rocky says Indians do it too. Indians from India or Native Americans? I hear it's racist, and if a white person goes, I hear that that's racist and that it's totally an unfair representation of Native Americans. So if any of you guys out there ever sees anyone go, be sure to tell them that they're a dick for doing that. Native Americans don't do that. They never did do that. And that's just something that ignorant white people say. But when I was a kid, I did that. When I was a kid and I was in school, they made us make like construction paper Indians with feathers. And then they told us that Indians went and shit like that. And so that's what we thought when we were kids. And then you grow up and find out they don't do that cool shit that you thought they did. Jonna with a very generous donation. She says, thank you for your informative, fun stream. We appreciate your hard work and dedication to us, your YouTube family. And I appreciate you guys being here and having fun with me on a Saturday night. You know, you guys can choose to go do whatever you want on a Saturday night. So for those of you choosing to hang out with Jake the Asshole and shoot the shit with me, thank you for being here. And Jonna, you donate more than anybody to this channel. And so I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. You are a sweetheart. And each and every time you donate to this channel, I really do appreciate it more than you know. It's people like you guys, you know, that make my wonderful, unique life possible. Yeah, Jonna does that from time to time. And I definitely do appreciate it. You know, it's very, very generous. And I know not everyone can afford to donate or whatnot. So I try to, you know, tell everybody that I appreciate everyone for being here regardless. But Jonna definitely has donated more so than anybody that I can think of. And so she definitely has a special place in my heart. And like I said, I think you live over in the Bay Area, which is not too far from me. So one of these days I want to meet up with you and shake your hand. I met your sister already, so I'd like to definitely give you a hug for all the support you've given this channel, Jonna. I don't know if this guy's talking to me. No name. Just goodbye, loser. YouTube racist are so weird. Okay. Bye, no name. If you're talking to me, I don't know. Maybe she's talking to me. She's talking to someone else. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's like, I think I've seen that name before, no name. It's usually somebody with a channel that was just created yesterday with no profile picture or anything, and they want to come here and talk about what a bad guy I am. Yes. Yeah, I don't get a ton of people trolling me in my chat, but it happens from time to time. So there's usually one or two people who want to stir some shit up, but I've got several mods in here, and they know that if anyone like openly bashes me, that they can bounce them to get rid of them. So if someone does say something, they don't usually last long. And it's like I said, it's always somebody who doesn't have a face or a name, who names their channel no name. And it's usually an account that was just started this week, specifically showing up to my chat to say some stupid shit and not influence anyone. You know? You know what? The racist thing, it's like, I think racist jokes are funny. And a lot of times, like, racist stereotypes are totally true. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I'm a white guy and I'm like, dude, black people love fried chicken. So, that's racist. It's like, yeah, but if we go fucking to the hood and we go to Popeyes and we see a bunch of black people going in all day buying fried chicken, then what? At what point does the racist stereotype also become true? So it's funny how, like, you can state something that's totally true, but virtue signaling whites don't like it when a white guy says anything stereotypical about anybody. So if I say anything about any race, I'll get called a racist. But it's usually by somebody who's like a virtue signaling libtard, you know? I like racist. I like reverse racist jokes that, like, people can't figure out, like, who I'm trying to, like, what race that I don't like. So for instance, here's one of my favorite racist jokes, or not racist jokes, whichever. It goes like this. White power, but I also think black people are awesome, and I love Asians too. I think black people are so awesome that I wish I was a black person. I wish I was a greasy, stinky negroid. I do. I wish I was a negroid. Is it okay for a white person to wish they were a negroid? No, it's racist. Okay, fine, I don't wish I was a negroid. Oh, wait, that's racist too? What is it with you people? Is it okay for me to wish I was a negroid or not? There you go. It's my favorite racist joke. I've told it in other various ways. I love black people so much. They're my third favorite kind of people. White people are my favorite, and then Asians tied with brown people, tied with red people, and then third place is black. Black people are my third favorite people, behind all the other colors. So white number one, brown and yellow and red all tied for second, and black is third. My third favorite. Now somebody would say, that's racist to say that black people are your third favorite. Really? So I'm not allowed to have a favorite? It's racist to have a favorite color of people? Yes, Kat, I agree. I wish I was Aunt Jemima. Is it racist to wish that you were Aunt Jemima? If it is, then fuck them. No, I don't wish I was Aunt Jemima. I heard it was racist that I wished that I was Aunt Jemima, so I don't wish I was Aunt Jemima. To hell with that ugly bitch. I don't wish I was that fat black bitch. I don't want to. Oh, that's right. Okay, I do wish I was her. Shit. If I don't wish I'm Aunt Jemima, people think it's racist that I don't want to be a black lady. But then if I say I do wish I was Aunt Jemima, people think it's racist that I want to be a black lady. You just can't win. Yeah, is it okay to say a word like negroid? If I refer to a black guy as a negroid, there's a good chance that that black guy is going to want to kick my white ass. What if I call an Asian guy a negroid? Should he want to kick my ass too? Or should he just be thoroughly confused? What if you call a white guy a dirty Asian? Is that supposed to piss him off? So it's kind of funny if you were to like call somebody the wrong thing that they aren't. Like, that's not going to hurt their feelings. So I guess that's okay. Right? So it's okay to call someone a racist name if they aren't that thing because they're not going to be offended. See how it works? It's only racist if it offends them. Gianopolo Apollo says all black people wish they were white. I don't think that's necessarily true. You're not going to get them to admit that either, even if it is true. Yeah, some black people get extra emotional over words and they do the typical angry black person routine. What? What the motherfucker you say? You say nigga? What? A white guy said nigga? Where's he at? Where the motherfucker at? If a white guy says nigga, I'm gonna have to act like a crazy person. Ah! Yeah, there's that type of black person that does exist by the millions where if they hear a white person say nigger, then they have to turn into a crazy unhinged person. Yes. And none of the other races are quite like that. Like if you call an Asian person a chink, they don't have this unhinged, lose their shit response. Whereas like a black person will feel entitled to beat you up and put you in the hospital. If you say nigga or nigger, then they are allowed to hurt you. And they think that in their head. And their mom and their friends and family will encourage them. Oh, you a white guy called you the N-word? Well, I hope you beat that motherfucker ass. I hope you whoop that motherfucker ass till he died. So that's encouraged to whoop a motherfucker's ass until he's dead in the hospital and shit if he says the wrong word. But the other races, yeah, like Asians don't quite have that same thing. And white people don't do the same thing either. Like, call a white person a cracker. They don't go, what? Motherfucker, call me a cracker! Call me a cracker again right now, motherfucker! Motherfucker, call me a cracker! That's the craziest, the most thing anyone's ever said to me. Cracker! Right? So, call a white person a cracker. We don't get unhinged. Call an Asian a chink, and they don't get unhinged. It kind of starts with them calling a Mexican a wetback. That's when they start to get unhinged. But the ultimate, a white person saying the N-word, oh, well, then you're totally legally allowed to murder that guy. And everyone on social media will clap for you. If you're a black guy and you have a story that a white person called you the N-word and then you beat that person until they died, everyone will agree that that's an awesome thing that you did. Everyone in the comments, if you're like, Some white honky ass cracker motherfucker called me a nigger, so I stomped on his head until his white fucking ass died. If that was your story, every person in the comment section would be like, awesome! I'm so glad you killed that racist guy. I love black people. My best friends are black. Yay! He must have been a Nazi. He deserved it. Where if I was to say like, hey, a black guy called me a honky cracker, so I stomped his head until he died. Oh, well, suddenly that's not so cool. If a white guy is called a cracker and stomps on a black dude's head until he dies, that's not as cool. That's not as honorable and awesome. Don't you like how that works? I love the double standard. Black guy calls me a cracker, I just have to sit there and take it. And if I tell anyone else that a black guy called me a cracker, nobody's going to feel sorry for me. And if I tell the world that a black guy called me a cracker and then I beat him with a metal pipe until he died, that would make me a terrible person. But white guy says nigger, well, he deserves to have his head beat in with a metal pipe while black people clap and cheer. This is all a comedy routine. Gigantic comedy routine. Take with it what you will. I mean, it's clearly a double standard. Clearly. There's a white privilege, but there's no black privilege. Asian privilege, Mexican privilege, Indian privilege. You know, there's a white privilege. Affirmative action. Affirmative. So I like to make jokes about all of it and make everything and just do a big comedy show to keep myself entertained and laughing because there's too much damn negativity. And if you let it, if you let anything make you mad, then you're going to be going around harboring anger and negativity. So I learned that it's more fun to laugh. Now, I still have stuff piss me off and I still get angry. So I'm not going to tell you I don't get angry. But what I don't allow to anger me is like somebody just like was to call me a honky or whatever. I wouldn't like lose my shit. So there shouldn't be a word that someone can call you that like makes you lose your shit and become violent. Because really it's like a noise. So it's like, oh, if somebody makes a noise, fligger, chigger, digger, and that word makes you feel a certain way, then you have to react and give this reaction of hatred and anger because they made a noise, right? Fligger, chigger, wigger, digger, nigger. Oh, that's the one that pisses him off. So when you really think about it, it's just a bunch of noise coming out of your mouth. So if you make the wrong noise, then somebody will get mad and angry at you because you made a noise that they didn't like. Yeah, being called a flat earther, they definitely weaponized that term. That's why I don't like to call myself flat earther so much, is because it's been weaponized. So it's basically like flat earther is synonymous with scientifically illiterate moron, right? A person who doesn't believe in science and is stupid. So yeah, they weaponized the flat earth topic, the term flat earther. That was the main reason why I cut it out from my YouTube name, was because of that. As many of you know, I started as Flat Earth Asshole, and I had to cut the flat earth part out because once I started running the conferences, and there was a shitload of shills just running the topic into the ground as quickly and as hard as they could, I realized having that weaponized term in my name probably wouldn't be a good idea. That's when I became Jake the Asshole. And now I contemplate changing my name again and getting rid of the asshole part, just because I think it keeps YouTube from recommending my channel a lot. All right, y'all. I see almost 400 thumbs up. Go ahead and let's push this thing to 420, y'all, before we shut this thing down. I want to see 420. It's a good number. Almost 400 thumbs up already. Shouldn't be hard to get to 420. Yes, I changed my name to Jake, the YouTube friendly guy. I changed my name to Jake, the guy who, the friendly guy. uh, yes, Alex Stein and Vegan Warrior should go on one of those submarine rides. The kind of submarine that does not come back. That would be awesome. I would clap and cheer if Alex Stein and Vegan Warrior died on a submarine. I would be so happy. Is it okay to wish that Alex Stein and Vegan Warrior die in a submarine wreck? Is that okay? Will God be mad at me? I don't know. I'll have to ask God. God, is it cool if you kill those dudes? No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? Some guy called me Jake the Jerk. Jake the Jerk. Oh, how dare you? Yeah, I thought about something like that, Jake the Truth or this or that, but I don't know. So I kind of go back and forth on whether I should change my name or not. Having an asshole in the name probably doesn't help, but at the same time, I've built my brand around that name. So changing it after all these years is, I don't know, it seems kind of, it makes me wonder if that's the right decision or not. Like, will it help? Will it make any difference at all? I don't know. Cracker Jake. I'm going to be white, hunky ass Cracker Jake. That'll be a good YouTube name. The hunkiest cracker on YouTube. You guys, we didn't get to 420. We got to 418. I said we need to get to 420 likes. That will make me feel better. We only have 418. So I'm going to need a couple people to smash that thumbs up button. There it is, 420. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Good stream tonight. Good time. We had a good crowd. Oh, at one point, we had like almost 500 people watching or something. So good times. All right. Well, we've reached the 3-hour mark, and I'm getting a little tired. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here and eat some food, chill out. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday night and your Sunday morning, and I will catch up with you guys in a day or two or whenever when I stream again. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for everyone who commented and participated, all the super chat donations. Special shout out to Jonna X for another very generous donation. I appreciate that. So until next time, this is Jake the Asshole signing off. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Peace.